Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. However you happen to be watching this, I want to thank you for joining the Gaming Circle podcast that seems to have so many more viewers and so many more subscribers. I am in such appreciation. I'm so humbled by the fact that people like the show, even when we're late by an hour.
Wow. I see.
Hey,
I didn't
call you out, homie. I didn't call you out. And of course, the background noises you hear are from the slanderous one himself. Life happens, bro. It's all good. Mr. Everborn Saga, what's going on this morning? How you doing?
What's happening, everybody? I just rushed here. I haven't even taken off my face mask yet. Just trying to make everything happen. And we have a very special guest today. So enough about me.
Indeed.
We'll come back to you in a second.
Yes. And on this episode, we are proud to have him on. If you've been in the Twitter streets, if you've been on these gaming spaces and whatnot, this man needs no introduction, But if you haven't, he's the one that has been known as the famous one or the infamous one, depending on your point of view, right?
Voldemort, actually. Yeah.
The one whose name shall not be mentioned, some say.
But we're going to mention his name today.
Yes, but today he has promised to come here and take us to school. We're talking about Mr. Xbox University. What's going on, good sir? How you doing?
What's up, y'all? I'm always happy to come through and talk some Xbox, talk some gaming. Doesn't matter what it is, like I said. But I want to thank y'all for inviting me on the show.
Oh man, it's good to have you here. This should be an interesting conversation. Especially this will be, and just so we're priming the pump now, this will be an Xbox centric conversation. We have the Xbox University in the house. Although, we tend to be multi-platform gamers, so you'll hear a little bit of this and that. But we got some slander today. We got a little
Sega.
Well, Sega has not made their presence felt quite yet, but we'll get there as it shows up. I will say, if you want, I will play the what do you call it? What's the name of the game they made? My wife would like. I've been trying to get her to game for a little bit, and she's like, "Well, let me try this game. This looks kind of cute." And she ended up playing it for like 3 hours last night. What the heck is the name of this
Sonic
game?
Mania?
No, it's the hotel, the hospital simulator. The hospital simulator that Sega makes.
Get her to play
hospital. 2 Point.
Get her to play Unpacked, man. Listen. Unpacked
yes. I hear that's real good too. I hear that's
the ladies love that, man. That's a good casual stuff. Yeah.
And Beast Mode is here early saying he's loving that name, Everborn Sega.
Stop it.
Ridiculousness.
But yes. They keep encouraging them, man.
Makes things worse. It is what
Sega's it is. Gonna happen before Take-Two, but it's okay.
We'll see how this goes. See, we're starting to slander early, but you know what, Erodimus, I'm gonna let that one slide. Don't worry, bro. We gonna have you on. It's gonna be good. Don't worry about it. But let's start this show as we always do with the games we've been playing. And actually, you know what? Before I get there, Mr. Everborn Saga, I wanted to give you like more time to speak about what you've been up to. I know that you're hot and heavy in the middle of your campaign. Is there more we need to know, or do you want to hit that off towards later in the show?
A little bit later. Let's get through what we're playing, and then we'll talk about it because I want some people to file in.
Yes. No worries. Yes.
Let a little bit more people know.
Understood.
You don't have to ask what we're playing. What's up?
I'm sorry.
No, I was saying, can I minimize? Hold on. Let me try to minimize because I want to tweet this out that I'm on it.
Yeah. No worries, man. Go ahead. Do you? Yeah, you can definitely minimize.
If I disconnect, I'll be right back. Hold on.
No worries.
Go ahead, Everborn. You don't have to ask us what we're playing today because everybody's playing Forza. All 7 million of us.
Actually, we'll get to that later. But as you can see, I played a little bit of Crackdown. Crackdown 1. This is all fresh footage. Yes, and this is my save from like 2002 or whatever. But still, anyway. So yes, Mr. Xbox University. Since you are new, you are the guest here. Let's start off with you. I know you. I thought you were on vacation a little bit, but what have you been playing? What's been keeping you busy this week besides the aforementioned Forza that we are all definitely playing? What you think?
Oh no.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, bro. Go ahead.
Okay, University, before you talk though, before you tell us University, we need to see your credentials. We got to know your game.
Oh, stop that.
Just saying.
That is not something that happens here. because we are men of integrity, and we expect others to be the same. That's how we know he's not lying. That's it.
No,
We're moving on.
The crazy part about that is, like I said, the goalposts keep moving, because I seen somebody the other day tweet out, how do we what did they, you see what I sent in the chat, right? Where the person was like, if you now they say, well, if you put up achievements and gameplay and stuff on your timeline, and it's not from the actual Xbox, how do we know it's yours?
Well, hold on.
I'm like, wait. My license plate says Xbox Uni. Like, what are you
hold
doing?
On. The thing that was weird about that, and we will diverge real quick, because this will be a show of diverging. We know this. Yeah. We'll diverge real quick. The reason why that was weird was because at that time, Xbox was expertly allowing you, because they know that interfacing with your gameplay clips on the console is not the best experience, so it would automatically send it to your phone, so you can then send it from your phone and edit it that way, right? Yeah. At that time, PlayStation wasn't doing that, so I was hearing a lot of narratives like, oh well, that must be fake gameplay or this and that, and then of course 2 weeks later, PlayStation started allowing that, and that narrative just kind of went.
Yeah, just like generations. But anyway,
they don't do it like how Xbox does it, but it's similar, like what you said. But
similar,
right now,
it does allow you to use your phone to do it. Directly.
What Xbox does is, as soon as I upload my clip, it goes straight to my Xbox app on the phone, and then you can. The reason I prefer to do that is because everybody knows with sense. It's a lot more easier to type captions and different things like that.
You said with sense.
Because
what I've learned in this world is, stop expecting everybody to be intelligent. See, like, there are different colors in the rainbow.
That translates into common sense. It's not commonly sold, so it is.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's different flavors in the different colors in the rainbow, and you just got to realize that everybody is not born with the same IQ level. So something that might be simple to you might be damn sure rocket science to somebody else. So at the end of the day, like I said, if you're smart, well, okay, let me don't say that. If you have sense, what because that's two different things.
Like, that's better.
Yeah, because
smart people with no common sense.
Exactly.
True. That's true.
That's two different things. But I'm saying, like, it's a lot easier to upload your gameplay from your phone or whatever the case may be. But like I said, no matter how much achievements, no matter if somebody who has a narrative, just like the Xbox has no game narrative, they don't want to let it go. So at the end of the day, am I going to keep going back and forth and fighting them? No. I learned from my boy Everborn to just, let people do them while I do me and focus on me.
Yes. In other words, let them stay stupid. But
yeah, exactly.
So now you guys understand the Slander Twins Unite comment that I made in my tweet. We're saying that the slander floor is real high this morning, but it's okay. Let's get back on it. Mr. Xbox Uni, what have you been playing this week besides Forza? We'll talk Forza.
Because I'm literally playing Forza right now. But
you're playing Forza
as we speak. So what else am I playing? I'm playing right now San Andreas.
Okay. We're gonna get into that one too. We're gonna definitely get into that one.
J-Mo Money's hating ass comment. Look at it.
You mean
I don't even
learn from everyone except the Sega opinions? Yeah, that was gonna bite you in the butt later there, J-Mo.
If anybody knows me,
that comment.
If anybody knows me, I play multiple games at the same time. So because a quick resume and Game Pass is like almost impossible.
Resume has made that a problem for me. I can't play one game at a time. That's right.
So right now, what I'm doing, I'm playing Control. I was playing Shadow of War, but I'm getting bored of it, so I might just have. I don't think I can finish this game. Like, it's too much. Like, it's too boring.
So Uni, I want to ask you a question, right? Because you just finished The Plague's Tale.
Yes.
Right? Now,
how do you know? How do you know that I finished it?
Because I only converse with people on Twitter in good faith. And if you say you played it.
But you've seen the achievement, but whatever. Go ahead.
But hey, listen, you know what else? Because I had this debate the other day. And I said, we talk about movies all the time, and we talk about people's reviews on movies. Do I have to go and ask people to see their movie ticket to listen to their opinion on a movie? Or am I just going to assume that we're adults having a good faith conversation?
And that there, what you're just saying right there, that is the reason why non-gamers consider gamers man babies, because that's the requirement there. Oh, well, let me see the proof. Stupid.
Listen to what really pisses me off. The other day, somebody, I ain't calling no names because I don't like that, but somebody was getting on Kid Smooth. Why? Because he said, yo, you cap for Forza all the time, and you only played Forza Horizon 4 for 20 hours. I'm like, what? You played 20 hours of a game and that's not enough? So you can only talk about a game if you put 100 hours into it? That's what I'm talking about with the goalpost. Even when you play the game, they have proof that you played the game. You played it for 20 hours. That's almost a full day. And they say, nope, that's not enough. You talk about it too good. So that's not enough.
I don't have a job talk. But about Plague's Tale, right? So for the sequel, I really enjoyed the story, but I was not a fan of the controls.
Yeah, it's very.
What's wrong with the controls?
I'm explaining to you right now, right?
Yeah.
You are playing as Amicia, right? And they're very unforgiving as to when someone gets too close, there's nothing you could do. And they've been living out on the road for over a year, right? She has armor. She's getting better with the slingshot, and there's nothing you can do. And it's the same canned animation when someone gets
over
close,
and over again,
right? And I didn't feel like as a player I had agency to either attack or defend, right? So what I'm hoping for in the sequel is that you can actually do something and get out of the way, because it's not like they said, okay, the person gets close and then you move. It is just if they get close enough,
any closer, you're dead. That's
same
it.
animation
Every time.
I actually enjoyed that, because what that did is it forced you, because this game is basically a action adventure game with stealth elements. That's what it is. She's not a warrior, Brad. She has a slingshot. But
the slingshot is deadly, and I feel like we're saying she's a weak little girl. Like she has to be stronger on this adventure.
Dude, she literally. This is not like she was royalty. Well, basically almost royalty. She lived a cushy life for her entire life, and then one day just got taken away from her. She's not like some warrior princess that been training from birth to fight. Like she got her first ever kill in the game, like when we were playing the game.
How many kills did she get with that slingshot? Because you're knocking people out like a goddamn sniper with the slingshot.
I think it made it realistic.
She can't have a dagger.
I think it made it realistically, because my point is, you want me to believe that this little she 13-year-old or whatever the case may be is going around slaughtering grown ass men in armor? Like come on, man.
I believe she's doing it with
but she can't come far. But when you come close. When you come close, you want her to just start hand-to-hand combat?
I think both of y'all are correct. You know, it's true that they're trying to let you. No, you're not. They're trying to put you in the position of a person who is for the first time experiencing these things, much like they did in Tomb Raider, right? Your first kill was, oh my God, and then eventually it's getting on. Now where Everborn is a bit more correct is, you know, at some point you're still playing a video game, so that they need to put the agency in the player's hands rather than stay so stringent to the story that it becomes a little detrimental to the story. But I will say, based on part 2 and the images we're seeing and the small and even the small trailer, it looks like she's far more capable now than she was before. Well, she's got that bow and arrow. She's ready to go. So
I don't know what you're saying, that the player doesn't have agency, because what happens is I realized that when I was playing, there was multiple ways to skin this cat. So I could go in stealthily and just sneak by the persons, or I could go ahead and kill one guy, or take out his lantern and make the rats kill him, or I could I could send the big guy that was with us until the end. I don't want to do no spoilers, and to get him to kill one guy silently or whatever. Like there's multiple. You could put one guy to sleep with using the sleep stuff.
So what you're saying is this is a stealth game for stealth lovers, and if you're a person who wants anything more than that, this might not be your game.
That's
this is the God of War.
No, I understand that. I'm just saying. The biggest thing that bothered me is I didn't feel like I was in control because of the canned animation.
I agree with you.
When somebody gets close,
on that.
You should at the very least be able to move out of the way and just instead of just saying, because that's overly simplistic for this kind of thing.
Yeah, it's almost like this is how they want you to do it, and the minute you step out of line, whoop, we got to restart you because you have to do it our way, even if like which is unfortunate.
If somebody sees you, you can move. There was times where somebody saw me and they got alerted and they was coming for me, and I dipped. I was like, "Oh, I'm out." Boom, I ran.
Well, no, but
and then
he's talking about proximity to the
He's talking about hand-to-hand combat. That's what
he's talking about getting close enough. If you're close enough, you need to be able to dodge. You need to be able to run away.
Okay, if I dodge, then do what?
And then run.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. But you see the person coming. Like I said, that I didn't have. Okay, you know what? It's different. We're gonna just agree to disagree. I didn't have a problem with it because, like I said, it set me up to. And when that happened, I was like, how did I do this wrong? How can I go about this in a different way? And so, because it was basically a puzzle. It's basically a puzzle.
Yes, and you're absolutely right on that. It is definitely a people puzzle. You're right.
Yeah. It's sneaking, stealth, but it's still a puzzle because you have to solve which way is the best way to do this. Which enemy to kill first? How to kill them without raising the other
that's right,
the alarm or whatever.
Okay. So what we're gonna see is because
it's basically Metal Gear Solid without guns.
Okay, but here's the thing: all of these things you're saying, I get. But I promise you in the second one, they're not going to have the simple canned animation. Enemy is this far away from you, so now we do the same animation. I guarantee you there will be ways to get around that because the reason for that is not it's a gameplay design thing. It is they didn't have the budget for it.
Yeah, so, you can definitely tell budget decisions were made. Same thing as in
because it was made by a small team.
Sacrifice. Same thing. Like you can tell that as good as that game was, there was budget decisions that was made that kept things simplistic. And now, with Xbox money, it's going to be a lot bigger and more complex world and gameplay wise.
So I want to address two comments in the chat.
Oh boy, what's good?
Beast Mode said a dagger against soldier. How do you believe a slingshot against soldiers, but a dagger is off limits?
Yeah, a slingshot against soldiers in armor.
No. You have to get their helmet off first. That's number one. Number two, it's from far. So you can take a big rock to the head. I don't care how big of a soldier is. Like you get a big rock coming at like 20 miles an hour to your dome. It's gonna hurt.
A knife to the chest will do just as bad.
They have armor. How you gonna get them to take off their chest armor?
No. What are you talking about? You don't have to take off chest armor to stab people. People fight in armor all the time.
Oh, we're diverging too quickly.
Okay, we're off the rails. But the last thing I want to address is J-Mo Money says, have you ever tried to dodge in real life? It ain't easy. Listen, my running in circles around a car game is on point, sir. I could dodge.
Indeed.
But anyway, let's move on.
Besides that game, any other games y'all want to reference?
Yeah, the only thing I would say is the only problem I had with that game is Hugo. He pissed me off for the entire game until the end. But like I said, other than that, I give it a 9.5. It was a great game. I have a
question for both of you guys. Who's worse, Hugo or the boy?
Hugo. Definitely. Hugo, and I hated the boy. I really hated the boy. Especially till the end. Like, bruh. You know what? Now you're gonna bring this up, but I was told I don't play games.
Here
we go. I was told I don't play games. So how would I know this? But, bruh, the problem I have with that dude, right, is this.
You're a heathen, homie. Heathen. Oh, Lord,
this, right? Okay, you find out you're a god, right? Boom. And instantly he turned into a nutcase. Instantly, like,
5 seconds later.
Yeah, well, I could do anything I want. Well, yeah, I could just kill. I'm like, bruh. I'm like, when you have Kratos is the most level-headed person in the room, you're in the wrong room. Yeah, you're in the wrong room. Like I said, his son pissed me off. You right. Now I'm thinking about it, man. I can't do these companion games. Like I can't do these games with companions, right? Like because that's why I said like there's no perfect game. There's no such thing as a perfect game. God of War was a masterpiece. It was a great game.
Hey, man. We have Forza Horizon 5 got 10s across the board. As perfect as you can get these days.
Well, you're
but
true.
Guess
like
what? It's nobody in the passenger seat of Forza Horizon. That's the key.
10. I keep telling people a 10.
And the people that are in the passenger seat are usually like goofy as hell. They're there for window dressing, nothing more.
I keep telling people though that a 10 does not mean perfect. There's no such thing as a perfect game. So, like I said, when you hear it, you get a 10 out of 10. That I hate when people say, "Well, look at a bug."
Yeah.
Well, look at it. I'm like, bruh, there's no such thing as a perfect. Don't even talk about the AP, bruh. The AP, the guy who says, look at the dog. The dog doesn't run properly from the car. And look, Kratos can't chop down this tree, so it's a trash game. Like, I'm like, come on, like these people are crazy, bruh. But at the end of the day, yeah. Good.
No, okay.
No. I was just saying at the end of the day, I'm just playing the usual 2K, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, Forza Horizon 5. I just finished thing, and I'm playing Control now, by the way.
Okay.
Like, I never got to play that.
This is your first chance to play Control? Oh, that's great, man. You're playing the best version at this point. Yeah, this is great.
That's sometimes, to be honest, sometimes that's why I don't buy games day one. Because, for example, I played Tomb Raider, right? I just bought the definitive edition last week when it was on sale for all three. I played them before, but you got the definitive edition. I'm like, let's go, right?
Actually,
60 frames per second, everything.
That is factually false because Xbox guys don't buy games, so I don't know how you bought
obviously.
that.
Yeah, we gotta start this. We haven't even gotten out of the first.
It's the fake narrative. It's the fake narrative, man. You gotta bust them up. But like I'm saying, with Tomb Raider, the crazy part is I bought the game and now I'm pissed because it doesn't have quick resume, and I'm like, what am I gonna do with this shit?
Yeah,
like I'm not gonna jump back in every time. Like, no, I'm not. That's why I don't play most of my games on my PS5 because it's like I'm not doing this. Like, if I had to play 2K on my PS5, I would never buy it because you'd have to literally start over every time.
You're dropping all these beautiful segments in that we will be heading back to, but let's head back to that one in a minute. Specifically 2K.
The Yuso Vinny comment. Ragnarok will be if they let you kill Loki in that game.
Yeah,
like it will be the game of the generation. That's it. I'm gonna switch to PlayStation if they do that.
If they let you just like 5 minutes in, boy, I'm sick of you.
I can't stand Loki in the Marvel in the MCU. I can't stand Loki in God of War. I can't stand Loki anytime, bro. Damn.
Yeah. People like him a lot. I think they're doing interesting with things.
And now that we're talking about God of War, now that we brought that up, another complaint. No.
There we go.
No, notice how Halo got shit for the lack of boss variety. Yet in God of War, we fight the same boss 15 times, and they're like, "Oh, no problem, no complaint. Stop it."
Okay. So we'll leave the PlayStation slander where it is for now. Because there's actually official PlayStation.
I'm not slandering it. It's a great game, but go ahead.
Oh no. Let me be clear. There's official PlayStation slander coming, but we're gonna leave that one for now. Okay. So I will move along, Mr. Everborn Saga. What have you been playing this week? I know Forza 5. What else?
And Guardians of the Galaxy.
How much further into Guardians are you?
I don't know if it's a boss, but I'm on that first mission where. I'm on the first mission where it's all that purple stuff, and you're on that big giant celestial thing. And we're looking. So
it's starting to get good. It's starting to get good.
It's interesting. I wouldn't be further into it, but then Forza came out,
and ruined everything. Yeah. Yes, I hear you. Yeah,
that's what happened to me in Cana. So I hope this is not a thing where it's and then like I have to finish that before December 8th. And God forbid if this rumor is true about multiplayer.
Oh man, we're gonna get to that one too. Oh yeah,
you can forget about everything else.
See, and truth be told, I think Xbox, you and I we're on the same page, and we might have dissenting opinions than most. But we'll get to that one as well. We'll get to that one about the rumor. But we'll get there. So besides that, that's what you've been playing? Forza's been taking up control of the rest of your life, I suppose.
Well, what's taking control of my life is this Kickstarter campaign
that
I'm going to tell everybody about in a moment.
Yes, indeed. When you're ready for that, by the way, you should drop the link so I can start that process. But as you can see, what I have been playing, I took the kids to Disney this week, so I was out of pocket for a little while. And while I was in the hotel room, the only thing I was trying to get loaded up and it wouldn't work because my internet was trash was Forza 5.
Hey, I will be right back.
Yeah, go ahead, man. Go ahead. You know, I was on my phone. I was trying to connect with the tablet. internet was not working with me, but so I eventually waited and got back and played it. But yes, I've been playing Forza like everybody else. It's crazy. I was actually able to get my hands on the early edition because, yes, Mr. Boomstick, shout out to Mr. Boomstick XL. He was all about, you got to get in. And then I found out that I have way more Xbox Live, Microsoft rewards points sitting around doing nothing. So I was like, why not? And I jumped in, and I have not regretted since. It is a great game, and as a parent, I can play it while the kids are around. I don't worry, I have to worry about any headshots and whatnot. So I'm all in. I'm really enjoying it. Now let's talk about that a little bit. I'm sure Xbox Universe. I'm sure you've played a bunch of Forza 5. There's been let's put the ridiculous narratives aside. I know a lot of people, but it's just a racing game. All that, screw all of that stuff, right? It's a game, and we're all enjoying it. How was your experience with the past Forzas? Have you played 3 and 4, or is this like fresh for you? Where do you come to Forza with?
Okay, I played 4, and I barely touched 3, but I played 3 was when it was in Australia, correct?
Yes, and then 4 is when it was in England. Yes. Yeah.
I liked 4. I would say I put in 15 to 20 hours in 4. I didn't stick around too long. But the reason why
that's a good amount of time. 20 hours. I know some people go hundreds of hours, but hey, 20 hours in a game will give you a full idea of what you're looking at. So
but most of the time I just stuck around, just driving around doing barn finds, and when you have nothing, when you just want to chill, have a game to just chill and listen to music and just drive free roam, looking for barns or whatever. That's what I did most of the time, and do some races. But the problem I had with 4 was that it was just too samey. I got tired of seeing country hill, the rolling hills,
country hill after the country hill. Yes,
and I get it. The seasons change. It was cool and everything, but I said, it was just too samey. The thing that I really love in Forza 5 is that how different each part of the map is. You playing it for days and you still experiencing different parts of the map. You can go from the living desert to I just went to the stadium for the first time after a race.
Saw the big old football, the soccer ball in there. Yes,
exactly.
Crazy.
I went to the cobblestone streets of the Guanajuato or whatever you call it. I'm not good at Spanish people, sorry. I just bought a house over on the right side of the map by the the seaside.
I know. I can visualize every place you're saying because I'm playing it right there too. Yes, it's absolutely amazing.
It's beautiful over there. It's beautiful. And if you have it,
it's interesting what you're saying. It's interesting what you're saying in relation to how it's the 4 was pretty samey. I equate it to for all my iOS users out there. I equate it to the S model, the 4 to the 3 to 4. Whereas let's say the Forza 3 was iPhone X, and then Forza 4 ended up being the XS. You know what I'm saying? Same game, only switched around a little bit. So anybody who really spent a lot of time in that Australia kind of got the samey vibe in 4. Even though it looked great and it played great and all that, it kind of
Australia had a lot of different biomes.
That's right, had different biomes and all that. And it seems like they just kind of 0.5'd it rather than really taking it somewhere different. And then 5, of course, blew it out and really took it someplace different. I completely agree with what you're saying.
Because in 5, like I said, there's so many different places, like the swamp, the mangroves, the jungle. Listen, I don't care what nobody say. I've been just really dirt racing. I just love something about rally racing. Always,
and this game lets you just do that. You want to focus just on rally racing, you can totally do that. And forgo all the other stuff. That's
and
really
at the
cool,
bottom of the map, where there's a jungle or whatever, there's a big highway with a huge bridge with a lot of tunnels and stuff. Hit that highway, Brett, and you can and you'll hit some speeds up to 200. That's a beautiful. I love this highway right there. I wonder if they're gonna. It's kind of sad that they don't have any events over it. I don't know. They need to some street.
Oh, don't worry. As,
maybe I ain't unlocked enough yet.
As has been seen by the Forza team, they have a plan, right? So before this is all said and done, I'm expecting some really interesting, very, very interesting add-ons to it and different race types. And of course, they have their own Forge kind of mode where people can go crazy and add so many interesting things in it. I expect, especially now that it blew so many records, this game ain't going nowhere for a while. You know what I'm saying?
Another thing that I'm not happy with is what about the damn weather? Like the weather, I've been playing for days. Like I've put in like at least like how do you find the hours on this shit again? Because
you could check it in the box. You could check it like under the they have like the game card that shows you the official verbiage from the teams and all of that. You can also check in how many hours you played. Yeah, you can do that. Yeah,
the game card.
I can show you that.
What you mean the game
card?
Yeah,
within so when you select the game, right, you can right click the game where it'll allow you to delete it, or you can check for DLC and all that.
Okay.
But you can also get to the official game card where it shows you the game. It's kind of like looking
for the official club. That's what it says, right?
Yes, and then on in that space, it'll show you how many hours you've actually played. I'll show that.
Because I see what you're saying. Because I don't actually care.
Yeah, we just go in.
So I just play. Like I said,
I actually figured this out when somebody said, "Oh, nobody ever plays these games," and then I found that, and I was like, "Oh,
you want to hear how crazy it is?
Average about 15 hours.
20 hours and 10 minutes of Forza.
There you go. There you go.
Right.
There you go.
That's crazy. Like I've already like played as much as I did in like this week alone, like 20 hours in deep. Like so, it's like
And real quick, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Shout out to all the folks that are in the chat. I see y'all are growing, having a great conversation. Thank you guys so much for pulling up. If you like the content, please subscribe. We appreciate you being here. I see Trevor. Let me see. I saw a comment from Trevor real quick saying that he likes Unsighted. He finished it, a Humble Bundle game. One of the bangers from the best indie publisher. Salute to you, sir. I played that as well. Very, very interesting game. I'm really liking it so far. Believe it or not, that publisher Humble is IGN, right? Humble is owned by IGN. So all their games are technically published by IGN. So
salute Gerald Mack. Salute
to Gerald Mack in here. Yes. I actually played the Unsighted on Game Pass. I didn't know I'd like it. Just one of those things that popped up. And it's real cool, which, we always sound like a commercial. Games that you didn't know you wanted, and Game Pass got it for you, and it's real cool. I'm sorry. Continue,
what
man.
Up, Depka? What up?
Yes. I see all the homies pulling up.
Thank you all for coming through, man. Showing love,
thank
whatever.
So much.
Like I said, it wouldn't be Xbox University that I didn't put in a shameless plug. Y'all can hit me up on Twitter at the Xbox University or Xbox University. Go ahead and give me a follow, man. Trying to build a great Xbox community, man.
Check the show notes. All his Twitter information is there. You can just click on the link. It's right there. I already put it in there. So make sure you follow the man if you have not done so yet. But continue, good sir. Go ahead.
Yeah. So the thing about Forza that I love, bro, more than anything else, is the fact that, like what you said, it doesn't force you to do shit you don't want to do. But the one complaint I have is that at least with seasons, you could expect when to think. Like I've done some showcases, like some story missions where the season changed. Like you had one like it looked like a hurricane. You had one in the dust storm and stuff like that.
The dust storm.
Just driving around, I haven't seen any dust storms. I'm like, I played 20 hours. Where the hell is the dust storms at?
Unlike Forza 4, where they had built-in seasons going in from time to time, this only triggers based on campaign and story missions. So I've seen it turn nighttime. Yeah, like because you said you're really focused on rally racing. Since I haven't really focused in on one, I've been playing in lots of different areas that are available to you. And what I'm seeing is, depending on which mode you're playing, or you're playing with the supercars, or you're doing this kind of race, that kind of race. Depending on the scenario that they deem best, then you'll see it goes to nighttime. So the lights are really cool.
Yeah, no, I've been
then all of a sudden rain will happen. Yeah. No, but it's the same thing. The same thing with weather. It's like some of them lean better towards weather changes and some don't. So it's almost like depending on what you're playing is what triggers the weather. It's not dynamic. It's based on what they have already predetermined would.
I see you, BBQ sauce. Yeah, like no. What I'm saying is, I agree. But like what Uso Vinny is saying, it's supposed to be random. Like I'm talking about free, like when you're free roaming, like when you're just free roaming around, just driving.
It should change. You're right.
It should. Yeah, there should be a time where you just run into a storm or you run into a thing in a different biome, and I'm like, where the hell is the snow? I haven't seen no snow on this volcano yet. I'm like, bro, is it like in 4 where every week it changes? Well, they gotta let us know. Like something's not right. Like I'm gonna Google it to see. Like because at least in 4, every week it'll change. So they need to tell me. It's unfortunate
that they added that into 4, right? And we didn't really like the map as much, but then they took it away in 5. That should at least been a minimum. They should have stayed there in addition to the new location. But I hear you on that.
Somebody said it's a weekly. Somebody says
it's a weekly thing.
seasonal thing.
Oh,
okay. Maybe that's why. Because I'm like, bro,
That's
I
cool.
put in 40, I put in 20 hours, and I ain't seen no damn snow. I don't even have to put on snow tires. Yeah, go ahead.
My issue with Forza 5, and I'm digging it as well. My issue that I thought it was going to be, and my issue that it still is, it's not authentic to its location, music wise, and a few things like that. And I said that when it was first announced. I'm hoping they do it because Far Cry 5 has set the minimum floor of what you should expect when you go to these locations. They didn't really do it. Yes, they're Spanish speaking here and there. Yes, you can get some music. Some of the channels will play some, but I want like some authentic Mexican music front and center, maybe a station. They didn't do that. It's still the same old EPM, a little drips and drabs here, but it's not really like authentic to its location. And I think that's a missed opportunity.
Okay, I'm not going to cap. One, I don't speak Spanish, so it doesn't matter to me. Two,
sure.
I get it, like what you're trying to say, but I don't listen to the radio anyway. I just put on my Spotify. I could give a
sure, which is a solution. Yes. Have you played Far Cry 6?
No, I have not.
If you play Far Cry 6, you know what I'm talking about. No, listen, I know some people
try my best not to. I know. I try my best not to give Ubisoft a damn dime out of me.
And I have no issues with that. No issues with that.
It's shameless. Like no. The last couple of years, it's been pathetic. Now they're trying to do all these free-to-play nonsense. They're just destroying franchises. I haven't seen Sam Fisher since 360. And no. I'm not giving it to him.
Stand on your square, bro. Stand on the square. That's good.
If they bring it to Game Pass, I might.
You're muted.
I might. But other than that, no. They're not getting a dime.
I feel you, homie. I feel you. Honestly, I completely agree with you 100%. The reason why I actually played Far Cry 6 is because I haven't really put any time into Far Cry since 3. So I've been far enough removed where people are like, oh, you should enjoy it, play it. I can see the formulaic nature of it, and it is unfortunate. But I will say, Everborn was right, and that's a very rare thing you hear me say right now, so y'all better clip that. Everborn was right when he said the environments really lend well. The breeze, the trees wafting when you're in the environment, it's beautiful, as well as the music. Oh man, the music. When you don't have to even be a Spanish speaker. When you are in that world, you're in that world, and they did a damn good job with that stuff. And that's I think that since I played that and then right away to Forza 5, that's what shows me that at least with the music part, it was a little bit less than. And
do you hear the music? More. Do you hear the music at the start screen though? That's a legendary start screen.
Sure, that more of that should have been available throughout the environment. Besides the every once in a while you see cool authentic art on the wall, there should have been more than that, right? There should have been a lot more than that.
What pisses me off actually with Forza is, now that you bring that up, like for the last couple of days they've been having real issues with servers, and I understand it. 7 million people. But there's been a lot of times where I come on and like server, you can't connect. Connect. I'm like, what's going on? So like, but like I said, I'm gonna give them this pass because 7 million in 3-4 days. Come on,
big, huge, monstrous facts. They need to
there's
fix
only
that
so
damn
much
DVR. Okay, I'm sorry. I just had to put that out there because
they do need to fix that.
That's boy,
fix what?
But,
yes.
To
the DVR. The go ahead, Everborn. Yes.
To the point of the music in Forza, right?
Yeah.
Let's say they ever did a Forza in the Caribbean somehow, right? And then they were playing Coldplay the whole time.
Yeah.
Right? you would be like, what the hell is going on?
Quick anecdotal thing, okay? My wife and I went to Cozumel, Mexico on a cruise, right? I've been there multiple times, various cruises. I live in Florida. Most people know that, so it's easy to jump on a cruise. So we go there, and the first thing we hear when you get off the boat, when you're in the plaza there, is the Rolling Stones. I'm like, get the hell out of here! You want to go get some food? They want to offer you hot dogs. I'm like, where the hell am I? Right? So we got the hell out of there. We found one of the locals, and he just drove us around. We paid him a little bit, drove us around, took us to the spots, came back with some awesome tequila. Long story short, I get that they want to bring you in comfortably with what you know, but you're not in New York. You're not in America. Show us the fare of where we're supposed to be, right? And like you said, Uni, that first startup music that set the tone. I wish they had continued that tone. I'm not saying get rid of all the other stuff, but let this this region have their culture front and center, right? They showed that they've been doing some interesting thing with the artwork and all of that, but it's almost like set dressing. And it's the same thing over and over and over again when it comes to that, right? They show you the beautiful biomes. Wish they had put more meat on the bones as far as the cultural stuff. Doesn't take it away from anything, right? We can criticize and still love the game. I'm still playing it, religiously. But that's a part where I feel like next time if they go to like Japan and they don't do that,
Mike said,
I'm gonna lose it.
Mike said if they drop Division 3, I'm copping. Listen, don't even bring up the Division. The Division, my friend played that so long. I'm like, bro, get off that trash game. Like, what was it called again? The multiplayer section, the dead zone, the dark zone,
the dark. I think it was the dark zone. Yeah,
the something zone. Man, that game was so garbage. Like, listen, it was okay when you played the campaign and stuff, but then the problem that I have is that everybody was just a bullet sponge. It was just bullet sponges, and I hate games with bullet sponges. Like, that's not my thing.
I feel you, bro. I feel you, 100%. So okay, moving along before we we're rounding a little bit of the first hour. We want to cap it off before we start talking about a bit of the news. As you can see, for some reason I'm like everybody's playing the Forza 5. I just felt like going old school. I love running around this dumb world. So I popped in Crackdown. And I'm like, nope, not doing the new Crackdown. I'm going OG Crackdown. And you're going to see a few more OG things from me because I even played some Halo Master Chief Collection. I played Halo 2.
You were streaming it?
I'm sorry? No. I was just playing. I was just playing it to record. Yeah, go ahead, man.
Crackdown ever come back? Or is the name?
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so, and that's unfortunate. I don't think so, and that's unfortunate because the game was really good. They just... No, but look, the problem that Microsoft has when it comes to this stuff is when they find like magic in a bottle, they then want to turn that into like in the gaming space. I know now that's not a problem because they have so many options, but in the beginning, when this game was offered as a side, as a amuse-bouche to your Halo, right? It came out and nobody even knew or cared. It just kind of popped in and people just were surprised at how good it was. So instead of leaving it as that magic in a bottle and maybe giving it to you in small drips and drabs, they try to make it's a AAA banger out of it in the marketing. And that's where it fell apart. It's not supposed to be this deep, huge thing, right? Yes. And what we can talk about why the cloud thing failed. It wasn't their fault, even though their messaging was bad. This game was a victim of their lofty ambitions. You should have left it for what it was, a fun game you run around in and you cause complete mayhem. Even the latest one, the newest one, is fun in that way. It's just they put so much on it. They added like Hollywood actors. They tried to make it the next big thing. Not every game needs to be the next big thing. It's like taking Death's Door and going, oh, that was interesting. Now we're buying them, giving them a AAA budget. And they're gonna make it look like no, man. It can be its cute little, lightning in a bottle. It can stay that way. It does not have to blow up and be monstrous. That's the problem with Crackdown. Oh, and you're muted again, sir. You keeping yourself on mute. Mm-hmm.
Do you have the same energy for Hellblade 2?
I'm worried for Hellblade 2 for this exact reason. Yes, for this reason. Because sometimes, and I'm not saying that it's going to be bad. I'm saying sometimes the limits give you that magic. The limits of the budget and all of that give you that magic. I have confidence that they'll make it there because Ninja Theory has always been a AAA scope but budget tone, right? So now they finally have that AAA budget itself. So with them specifically, I have faith that they'll pull it out. But most of the time, when you have a game that caught lightning in a bottle and it was really small and contained and still overshot and really became magical, and then your next iteration is, oh well, we're gonna throw way more money at it, we're gonna really blow, that tends to end badly because the budget itself.
All of their franchises now.
Hold up. Yeah, I was just about to say, what do you think Forza Horizon 5 is?
No, Forza Horizon was just started with the budget.
No.
Forza started with
the motorsport was the big
I know
thing.
that.
Then they just did They just did a little side project. They didn't expect it to become what it is today.
But that side project did not start with like two dudes in a room somewhere that then eventually turned into something. No, they started that side project with a good budget, and it's been going since then. I'm not saying that. I'm talking about specifically small little out of nowhere games that come and become big, and then they go, oh, well, now this is the tip of the spear. No, it's not.
Well, no. Do not compare. Do not compare Crackdown to Hellblade. Please don't. I'm not comparing Crackdown
to Hellblade. Y'all brought up Hellblade after I said Crackdown. So
Hellblade was made by 20 people with a $10 million budget. Now it's going to be made by 40 people.
Okay, so still it's not really exactly. But that's different.
They're not going to make it. It's not like they increased it to 400 people.
Yeah, it's not turning to Call of Duty budgets, which is fine, But y'all are the one who brought up Crackdown.
The thing about it, like I keep telling people, when y'all hear budgets, right? I hate that word AAA because a lot of people think AAA equals quality. AAA doesn't mean how much money.
Equals budget. It's just budget.
Yeah. Like that's why I hate the internet, man. It's full of idiots. Like I'm like, dude, y'all say AAA when all that means is how much money people spending. Like like if somebody spent $10 million and come out with Hellblade, and then you spend 500, then you spend $100 million to come out with Crackdown.
It's wonderful you bring that up because the homie Slow-Mo Backslap is in here. So I will reiterate my point before. Quadruple A, even though they didn't say it, is budgetary, right? It's a budgetary thing. It could be a quadruple A piece of trash, but still what they're talking about there is monetary resources, right? Okay. And who says that's not true when you're hiring a AAA studio to fund your stuff? But that's
the
go ahead.
Premise of your concern is they see potential in smaller games and want to expand that vision because again they think it can be big, and I don't think that that's a problem.
No,
right? There are many reasons why Crackdowns failed. It's not because it was supposed to be a small thing. They saw it as something that could have been bigger.
It could potentially be bigger.
That didn't work out. That's fine. But just saying that they
got to take risks.
No. I'm not saying that 1 + 1 = 2 in that respect. I'm saying in this specific instance with Crackdown, that's what sullied its name. They overshot the budget. They overshot the idea because we'll throw more money at it rather than understanding
the studio that quit.
Wait, let me
midway through and all of that.
Let me tell you what really
quit. They were sold.
Let me tell you what hurt. Let me tell you what really hurt Crackdown. Let me tell you what hurt Crackdown. What really hurt Crackdown was expectations. Because what happened is there was too much expectations on Crackdown because there was no other games coming out at the time for Xbox. So they wanted Xbox to be carried by Crackdown. That's like imagine if last generation PlayStation had no games coming out, and then they wanted the generation to be carried by Order 1866 or NAC. See what I'm saying? That's basically what happened.
No, but this is my point. That's exactly what I'm saying. I'm saying that game can live in the world it lives in and does not need all that monumental expectations be put on it. Because once you do that, it can never live up to that. And then
I don't know what your fascination with Crackdown, but I do not want to hear or see Crackdown again.
But you don't
until
have you played this?
No.
Have we haven't gotten any.
No, I'm not playing it. I'm not playing it.
Exactly. So you are not. You are not one.
No, we haven't gotten a goddamn Banjo-Kazooie.
Since you have not played it, you are not one to speak on whether it's good or bad.
I haven't played Crackdown 2. No, I haven't. I played the Crackdown on the 360, but it's Crackdown 3. No, I have a listen.
No, but this is the Crackdown on the 360. This is what you're looking at right now is the Crackdown from the 360. It's just being played on the X. But let's move on. That's fine. All I'm saying is it was good for what it did, and then they try to put it in bigger shoes that it didn't deserve. That's neither here nor there.
It could have made it deserve bigger shoes, but sure, it just didn't work out.
It just didn't work out. Sure, we could do that.
They have way more other franchises they need to worry about than Crackdown.
Indeed, I agree with that. I completely agree with that. Although I will say, if one day in the future, one of the however many teams they have goes, we could take another stab at Crackdown and it'll be good. They should let them do that. We'll continue onward. We'll continue forward. So moving on, like have we discussed all the games that we've been playing? Like I've been playing, I've been playing Forza 5. My PC's become trash, so I need to re-image it. So I haven't been able to capture any footage from some of the games I've been playing on PC. Actually, I played Bright Memory Infinite on my PC. Great looking game. has some bugs. You can definitely tell it's still a game being made by an indie developer, but
it's one guy, I think.
Yes, it's got some very interest. He did hire more after Microsoft helped him, but still, it's mainly his baby.
Yeah,
you know. But he's really for what he's doing there. It is magical. It's quite impressive. It's just very short. I played some of it. I haven't been able to capture it because the minute you hit capture on my PC right now, my 120 frames turns to 2. So that's some BS. We'll fix that soon. But all right, let's move on. I kind of wanted to touch on some of the main stories of the week before we get to the main thing that we're here to talk about, which is Xbox's 20th anniversary and their streams and all that. And PSA for those who may not know, they're doing a trivia stream today. Last time this was like a year ago, they did a trivia stream as well. I was a part of that. It was really fun. I'm not one that's going to win the whole trivia thing. That's not my bag, but still it was fun to be a part of. You got to hear a bunch of them speak. You got to be part of the conversation. If you ask a question, some of them may answer it, things like that. And fun fact, that time when they did it, and y'all can look it up, I think it was last year, that's when Phil Spencer came out and said they're working on 1 versus 100. And it didn't hit the news at that time. And now all of a sudden they're like, oh, did you hear they're working on 1? He said this last year. He said it to like 30,000 people that were in the trivia room when they were doing a fan fest. So I don't know why this is news, because he already said this, like himself. He came out and said, yes, we're definitely going to bring that back. So now it's big news. Congratulations to those who picked it up. But that's old news in my opinion. Anyway, so let's switch gears a little bit and talk a bit about some of the games that we've been wanting to talk about. It's been an interesting week of news, and like I said, I took my kids away to Disney for the week, and then I came back and saw all this interesting stuff had dropped. Right, we'll start first with a bit of the slander. Now, Xbox, you came and said you were playing some GTA, so we'll start with that GTA first. All right, so here we go. The game, and this is just one of the articles I read on it, and there are a few more out there. The game, by all accounts, sounds to be a trash port, right? And the funny thing is, there's a hissing sound coming through. I hope that's not from me. I see Beast Mode talking about a hissing sound coming through. Please let us know if that has changed. If there's anything we can do about it, let me know real quick. Hold on 1 second here.
All right, while he's doing that.
Yes, I am back. Yes. Is there still a hissing sound? If there is, please let me know. I apologize. We'll make sure that we correct that. I didn't hear it either. Okay, so good. No, people are saying they can't hear it. Please keep us up to date.
The call is coming from inside the house.
Inside the house, sir. Turn around. No. So yes, GTA. I don't have the information anymore. I was looking for it before the show started. I didn't get a chance to look it up before the show started. A while ago, they released, this was some years back, they re-released a quote-unquote definitive edition of some of these versions of these games, right? And when they did, Digital Foundry did this thing, and I thought it was very useful, where I think it was Alex Battaglia that did it, where he went in and basically proved that they had used the code from the mobile version, because they had a mobile version that went to iPad and all that. They ported the mobile version and then made their definitive edition, so leaving the original code from the console versions behind. And you could see it because a lot of the atmosphere was taken away. A lot of the technology that made the consoles shine was dumbed down for iPad, right? So when they re-announced that they're going to release this new stuff, my hope in my head, I was looking for the remake word, but as soon as they said remaster, I was like, oh, this is going to be completely trash. I didn't make a big deal out of it because, hey, you could be wrong, but it looks like I was wrong. It's absolute trash. Has anybody, I know Xbox you were saying you had tried it. You both are on mute, good sirs, if you want to speak.
Let Everborn go first.
Everborn, yes. Well, we already know what Everborn's going to say.
I don't give a flying 747 fuck about this, any of it. It looks terrible. They did the bare minimum, and as long as we keep buying this stuff, GTA 6 is never going to come out. And I say that before you even say it, Kay. No, I haven't played GTA 5. GTA 4 was the last Grand Theft Auto I played, and I have no interest in going back to that franchise.
Yeah, I heard you on the GRG podcast.
Yes, that franchise can kiss my black ass. But that's really all I have to say about it. And
I'll say to you,
you get what you deserve if you even download this thing and play it.
So let's be clear.
Bro, I'm about to gatekeep though.
Well, hold on.
You just said you didn't play Grand Theft Auto 5?
Yes. Yeah. You see, I did a little bit of gatekeeping on that too, your Xbox unit. Hold on one second. I did some gatekeeping there because there's some righteous vengeance that needs to be delivered to this man, okay? To me, Grand Theft Auto 5 is Rockstar at the height of their powers. You may not like the storyline, you may not like some of the decisions they made, but from a technological perspective, from a world building perspective, it is the Catcher in the Rye of video games. It's required reading. Yes, it is. Now, what Everborn, and y'all are muted again. I don't know if it's auto muting it or y'all are muting yourselves, but what Everborn is coming out with
in the background, so I'm muting.
No worries, brother. No worries, brother. Where Everborn is coming to it with, and I think he's absolutely wrong, but there ain't no shame in his game. He's stuck in Windows 95 land. Now go here with me. Back in those days, right? It was trash operating system on a trash PC, so it just gave it a bad name. He has played all the trash versions. Fetch Quest City, absolutely true. Absolutely true. That's what they were for the longest time. GTA 5 breaks that mold, but he's so Windows 95 in his mental that he can't break that and go and try GTA 5. So it is what it is. I will say, for me, GTA 5 is the pinnacle of their achievement. I don't think they could ever go any further than that. And if they do, it will be the promise of Cyberpunk 2077, like the most advanced, most realistic thing ever, because GTA 5 really took it there. But my favorite will always be Vice City. Go ahead, Everborn.
You said that you don't think they can take it anywhere from 5. That's because they haven't.
Because they don't have to.
They agree as well, and GTA 6 is never coming out.
And you know what? Hold on. Actually, you might be right, bro. That's why the original owners and the original visionaries left the company, because they thought, "Yep, we've done it, we're done." And of course, Take-Two is like, "Nah, bro, we need to keep printing this money." Go ahead.
Highlight Boom's comment.
Yes. Welcome, Mr. Boomstick. Thank you.
Yeah, yes. This is what y'all need to realize.
Hey, you see that, Uni, right? He's asking you to the big show, big sir. You need to work on that, man.
What happened?
That's awesome.
That's Boom.
Anytime, Boom, just let me know, man. Let me know, man.
Indeed.
I'll be on there for you, man. I really respect the work that you do, Boom.
Yeah. So go ahead, man. You were saying?
No, what I was saying is with GTA, right? Mm-hmm. I keep telling you, and I'm gonna keep beating this drum because y'all don't understand. They're doing the same things that Bethesda was doing before they was acquired. Let me tell you what's going on. Mm-hmm. They are doing money grabs and BS just to collect profit quickly. If you read their last financial disclosure for the quarter, their profits are down 90%. That's not 19, not 9. That's 9 and a 0%.
How is that when they're literally printing GTA money every?
See, that's what you'll think. They make a lot of revenue, but they don't make a lot of profit. The reason why is because all of their games, like 2K and GTA and stuff, have too many licenses and stuff that they have to pay for. So you have to pay for the NBA license. You have to pay for all of those music prices. You have to pay for the web hosting. You have to pay for the servers. You have to pay. There's a lot of expenditures that they do. So they come back. Like I keep telling people this: Minecraft made 1/3 the amount of money that Take-Two as a whole publisher made last year. That's a fact. Minecraft alone. So stop. People have it in their mind that Take-Two is making so much money. Are they? Because listen.
They're making a lot of money, but they have a lot of bills to pay. Clearly,
they made $3.something billion in 2020 and made like $400 million in profit. That's not a lot. That's a little bit of profit. So my point is, what I'm saying is, their behavior is letting me know that something is afoot. Of course, we heard that Jez Gordon and stuff said that they heard this through the grapevine months ago, and I've been saying it for months. Something is going to happen. The last time we heard rumors that Sony was going to acquire Bethesda. What happened? Now like 2 years ago, we heard rumors that Sony's going to acquire Take-Two. Sony, you think Sony has the money to spend $20-something billion for a publisher? Get lost. Sony's worth only $100 billion. Have fun with that. So my point is, what I'm thinking, if Microsoft is smart, which I do think they are, they can afford to get Take-Two because they're not going to get Take-Two for the profit. They're getting Take-Two to bring people into their
library. Yeah, for the library.
So what they need is the IP, and like what he said, they want casual games. You don't get more casual than NBA. See what I'm saying? And WWE or whatever. Those are games that anybody can play. That if you launch day and date every year, they just seen that MLB The Show launched day and date this year, and it's one of the biggest games on the Xbox platform for the whole year. A baseball game. If they can get a baseball game plus the NBA game to launch day and date on their service, and plus they have EA Play as well, they'll be unbeatable. People will gravitate from PlayStation because they'll say, "Yo, I can stay on PlayStation and have to buy NBA 2K $70 for the next generation, which is like 8 years, or I can just buy an Xbox, get Game Pass, and it basically pay for the money I save, basically pay for the Xbox." And that's just for 2K. That doesn't involve all the other first-party games that's going to come out. So like I said, it makes too much sense. It has the IP that they have for example, Microsoft right now, they're doing big with Age of Empires 4. Imagine if they could put Age of Empires 4 with Civilization and with XCOM. You see what I'm saying? So that they'll be the kings of RTS. They're already the kings of the Western RPGs. They're already the kings of shooters. If they can be the kings of RTSs and stuff, which is basically one of the biggest franchise genres on the PC, they could put that. Then they'll also have a sports title that they know that they'll have, and then of course the coup de grace, they'll have Grand Theft Auto 6, Red Dead Redemption 3, all of those that they can make exclusive. It's a win-win-win, and they've been setting it up for the last couple of months so that the ponies and the crazy people, their narrative can't stick, because the narrative is, well, you're gatekeeping, you're keeping people away. Well, we're not, because Xbox games are available on everything that can connect to the internet. If they're gonna launch before the end of the year, they're gonna launch smart TVs with the Xbox Game Pass app built in. You don't even need the goddamn console. They're gonna do the dongles,
continuing the slander,
the stream stick or whatever. So you don't even have to buy the console. You can use the stream stick with your DualShock, with your DualSense, and play an Xbox game. You just need to sign up for Game Pass. So my point is, if you have a PC, a tablet, a phone, a smart TV, whatever, you can play Game Pass. So there's no excuse. You can't say they're gatekeepers.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. But like on the point of this game, though, yeah, of course. We don't care what they say. And I'll be here. We don't care what they say. We're not here about that. On this specific game, I will say, and this is my PSA for those who love it, right? For those who are all about it, I will say, and I'll wait for. I'm sure Digital Foundry will probably come back and do another bite at the apple on this whole story, and maybe add more meat to the bones on that. But I would say it's still probably best to play the OG versions. I'm not one. You heard me talk about emulation on this station before, on this show before. I will say, if you are really about the people who want to go back to the latest and greatest versions of this game, go find yourself an emulator. Go find your version, the OG versions of these games, because none of the definitive versions are worth playing. If you see some of the rain videos on the internet, it is hilarious. It's like spikes falling from the sky. You can't even play the game because it's just absolutely ridiculous. And the reason why I'm not showing you any of that is because on this show, the only time I've ever gotten a copyright claim is when we were playing the PlayStation showcase, showing GTA footage while going through the showcase. Yeah, they copyright claimed me for showing that. So screw you there, Take-Two. I'm not going to show you your clips, and I will give you the righteous smoke you deserve. These games, as they have released so far, have proven to be trash in all forms. And Everborn, if you say you're not playing this, I'm not holding it against you. I'm not. All I'll say is, for the benefit, for those of us who are unique in this environment where we not only love the games, we also talk about the games. We're kind of the pundits of the game industry. GTA 5 is at least worth your time.
Nope.
Just to have that, knowledge.
Do it.
I hear you, bro. I hear you. And
well, that's how
and
I feel
would
about
fight.
Far Cry.
And I would fight for exactly. I would fight on the side of that game more. But the developers and the publishers of the game, and shout out to you, Xbox Uni, for pointing out Ubisoft. They're not helping their own cause, so fuck both of them. It is what it is.
Yeah, like I said, I like Rockstar, but as you can see, what's going on is, and I keep telling people, as an investor, your job as an investor is to go wherever makes you the most money. And the problem with Take-Two is that their revenue streams are very, very limited. And as a business, you know how precarious that can be, because Grand Theft Auto 5 is a runaway success. That doesn't guarantee Grand Theft Auto 6 would be. No, for example, there's a lot of people who swore Cyberpunk 2077 was going to be the next big thing because they made Witcher 3, right? And then what happened? Or for example,
like 15 million copies.
Yeah, and I'll still stand on my square that
lost billions.
I will still stand on my square that when that game is worked out completely in a vacuum, it is a brilliant, brilliant game.
Yeah, but my point is, the narrative lost them $billions. It lost them billions of dollars. They didn't make billions. They lost billions. Yeah. And my point is this, like, as an investor at Take-Two, well, like I said, right now, your main revenue streams are shark cards and VC.
Oh,
That's about
100%.
it. So like I said, right. if any one of those two goes kaput, poof, there goes the value. Yeah, there goes the value of your company. So at the end of the day, are you going to turn down a bag of 25 billion right now when you're only making 400 million in profit? Come on.
They see the money. They see it.
Does Microsoft want to spend?
We are all in on gaming.
I know, but can't that 25 billion be used to buy what? Capcom, a Square Enix.
Okay. Here's my problem. The problem with Capcom and Square Enix, they're Japanese companies, then you have to get approval from the Japanese government. That's number one. Number two, like I said,
buy your favorite company, Ubisoft.
Stop it. Stop it.
And then get
I told you, if they buy
the hell out of it. Get him out of there.
If they buy Ubisoft, I'm throwing my Xbox Series X in the garbage and I'm turning it into PlayStation University. I'm not doing it.
If they buy Ubisoft, that would be the greatest thing that would happen.
No, it would not.
All the trash. They'd get rid of all the trash. They would change.
No, they put all the trash on Game Pass. That's the problem.
No, come on, man.
Come on,
like,
bro.
I know a dude who's worked at Ubisoft. I've actually had him on the show. You know, it's true that their way of doing things has been trash. But if they were acquired, Yves Guillemot will be out the door, and their green light by committee would also be out the door. So then you'd get the shine will come back to that.
I do think, like, on a serious note, Uni, I think that, and this is not like over Rockstar or over Take-Two. So just
Take-Two, yeah.
Take-Two out of the equation for this. I do think there is something to the idea that if Ubisoft wasn't hurting for money to pay those 20,000 employees, right? That
why the hell they have 20,000 employees?
Yeah, no, but they could actually space out their releases, and they wouldn't have to turn everything into a game as a service.
Formula,
and those things could work. And imagine Assassin's Creed Return to Form. When you've given them the proper time.
Imagine a real Splinter Cell game.
You know what would return Assassin's Creed to form? Stop bringing it out every other day.
That's what I'm saying. They could have the time to space that out.
Yeah, like the problem. That's the problem that happened with Forza and Halo and Gears is that they're still great games. The problem is they got oversaturated. That's why people are dying for Halo Infinite now, because it's been 6 years. You give people time to miss the goddamn franchise. Like, you can't just milk a franchise for everything it's worth. That's why I don't care what people say about Ratchet and Clank. They can kiss my you-know-what, because that's a 16th version of Ratchet and Clank, and y'all can't fool me with Cap. I don't care how pretty it is.
Real quick here. Slow-mo, just because they've been doing that with ZeniMax does not necessarily mean they would do that with Ubisoft, right? ZeniMax can run themselves. Well, no, hey, we don't know they would do that. We don't know they would do that, because some of them needs the hands-off approach. They just need money. Others need actual management. We don't know how it would happen, but there's a universe in which both can exist.
You know why? Ubisoft is going under all of those sexual harassment stuff, and ain't no way they would want to put that.
They don't need the PR.
Yeah, they don't need that type of smoke.
They don't need the PR
on the Xbox. Right. They would never do. Might as well you tell them buy Activision. Like
you know.
Yeah, that's my point. Yes. So what they want is Take-Two. And I tell you something that's going on because look what PlayStation did the other day. So funny, like I keep pointing these stuff out. Xbox social media manager the other day, he just posted what do you call it? Elizabeth, I forgot that town from Red Dead Redemption 2. And then he tagged Rockstar Games in it, just randomly.
Was that before or after they deleted the Xbox Twitter account?
The Xbox
account. That was before.
That was just
right.
Maybe he was leaking the acquisition, and they was like, "Get it out of here!
Get it out of here! Wrong button.
Then PlayStation went 2 days ago. Just said, look at the lineage of Grand Theft Auto on the PlayStation platform. I'm like, that's strange. You know. I'm like, why would they say that? Because they want people to know Grand Theft Auto been on the platform since 1997.
Yeah. So in other words, wink, nudge.
Yeah,
you know, get your pitchforks ready.
Yeah, exactly. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to hoax the narrative. They're trying to say, yo,
of course,
you don't want them to take this away.
Take it away from you.
They've been on our platform before Xbox existed. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's what they're trying to. You can see it, man. Come on, man. And like I said, Rockstar and Take-Two now, they're not concerned about their image anymore. They're not. They remind me of what Bethesda was doing with Fallout 76 and shit. They didn't give two shit how
they're trying to collect the check.
What Ubisoft is doing with everything.
No.
Yeah, they're in collect the check mode. They're very much in collect the check.
Collect the check mode is cash grab. Free to play is live services that's going to go on for years and years and years. That's different.
And what do you think that's for? That's cash grab money right there.
No. Listen to what I'm saying. Cash grab is something that you can do, like the remaster, which takes minimal effort, and you can get a lot of returns on it. My point is, if you do the free to play, you have to support that continuously for season after season after season. That's not the same as a remaster Grand Theft Auto trilogy.
Immediate cash. I hear you, but they're doing both, right? Go ahead, Everborn.
No. It's like GitHub. And how crazy is it that Microsoft owns NPM?
See, and nobody seems to notice that, right? Because they just kind of let
GitHub.
Shrewd move, man.
Shrewd
move they got going.
No, NPM is Node Package Manager.
MGM.
NPM.
Oh, okay.
It's a developer thing,
for devs.
Or even crazier, how crazy is it that they bought LinkedIn? Like LinkedIn is a Microsoft-owned property.
Yeah. And they're not pushing it in anybody's face, you know, and that's what makes people go, oh, well, if they buy a bad thing, they'll just let it continue to be bad. They have learned to leave things alone that warrants leaving alone, because the minute they start poking at it and it starts ruining it, Skype, then they've also around the nooses around the neck.
They've also learned to bet on sure things.
Exactly.
Maybe some acquisitions that we want to happen, and I'm not to. This may apply to Sega, right? It may not apply to Take-Two. But maybe some acquisitions that we want to happen won't happen because they talk to them and they look at the books and they see what's really going on at these places, and they're like, "Yeah, I don't know about that."
Okay, let's move along, and this different conversation also lines in with what we're talking about here. So, and forgive us, the slander will fly. It is what it is, right? Another topic of conversation I wanted to bring up in the news is a lot of folks have been talking about, oh, well, we're a year into the PlayStation and the Xbox, you know, so now it's time to give them a grade and you know what we think. I saw an IGN video where they're back and forth about, well, Xbox didn't really produce too many exclusives in the beginning, and and PlayStation and this and that, they did what they were doing, right?
Yes, all exclusive that PlayStation gamers don't even play. So at the end of the day,
hold on, good sir. We're about to get to it. So now I figured, hey, some of us are. I don't know if you own a PS5 Xbox University. Do you own a PS5? Have you played PS5 games?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and I know that Everborn does as well. So we can.
I own about 38 PS5s.
Yeah, I know you buy and sell this man.
I do not buy and sell. I buy.
That's how he was able to pay for his Tesla, ladies and gentlemen.
I buy and give. I am a full.
Anyway, I'm just clowning. I'm clowning, and Neo's smelling it in the air right now. He smells the smoke. It's about to happen.
Who's Neo? Like Neo Spark?
No, that's Neo Mental. That's Boom's brother.
Boom's brother, yeah, indeed.
Oh,
indeed.
Okay.
Welcome, good sir. Yes. So yeah, Scalpel confirmed. I'm saying he has a Tesla, ladies and gentlemen. How he got that? PlayStation sales. Anyway,
I like my comic. I am robbing from the rich and giving to the poor.
Giving to the poor. There you go. Yeah. So I will
all
say,
PlayStation gamers are millionaires. But go ahead.
Stop. So here we are, a year in, right? And I'm sure there are lists everywhere as to games that have come out and ones that were first party, third party, all this stuff. But I saw this headline, and I forget the gentleman who posted it in the chat, and I said I was going to bring it up, and it's a very apt comment. It is saltier than I ever will be, so I'll just let the title speak for itself. It is mad salty, and it came from an official source, And so I'll just leave this, and y'all can read it, and y'all can allow and let the slander just wash all over you. PS5 users don't play first-party games.
All right, let me go first.
Go ahead. Yes, please. Go ahead.
So here is the thing. I know what the headline says, but this is Kotaku.
Oh yeah. Oh no. I know.
No,
and they use
Kotaku can't tell the truth.
Kotaku's all about
broken clocks.
They're all about
broken clocks.
Yes, twice a day. Indeed.
Right.
Indeed. But they're not the only ones that have said this, because these numbers are actual factual.
Jim Ryan said
They're
it.
just spinning it. But look. What I mean by that, you can read into the tea leaves all you want, but the top 10 games on the for the first year that it's been around, not too many actual PlayStation games.
Let me bring the smoke real quick. Give me one.
So go ahead, man. Mm-hmm.
Listen, the number one played first party game on PlayStation 5 launched day one in Game Pass. That should tell you everything you need to know about PlayStation gamers and their exclusives, right? So at the end of the day, just like what we've been saying, one and done games, and they pretend like it's not the truth. Where you spend $70 to spend 10 hours in a Ratchet and Clank game. I got it for $25, by the way. And like I said, the problem is that afterwards you're completely reliant on third-party games. And that's not to say that Xbox gamers don't play third-party games or don't play Fortnite or whatever. No, I'm not saying that. We're not going around bragging.
Dropping sites.
We're not out here bragging, trying to pretend like exclusives, and that's all we play. Like I keep telling people. When is the last time you went down your timeline and seen Ratchet and Clank gameplay? When is the last time you went down your timeline and seen Returnal gameplay? That's exactly why. But I promise you, next year you're still going to be seeing Forza Horizon gameplay. You're still going to be seeing Halo gameplay. That's what happened. That's the difference. I prefer my games. I like PlayStation games, but me personally, I prefer games that I can play for more than one goddamn weekend. Maybe I'm crazy. But at the end of the day,
and that's a choice. That's a choice. I like games that have beginning, middles, and ends. I'm a dad. I can't be stuck to it. I can't be stuck to it forever. But I hear you, and you have a point. I will also say, of the games that are there, Miles Morales, Demon Souls, I really enjoyed most of them. MLB The Show, I tried a little bit.
Miles Morales is one of the best games.
I love that. All they had to do was show me Miles's hair, and I was in it. Shout out to Slow Mo. He knows what I'm talking about. They finally got a game that showed it right. They did great work. Now, to be fair, it is not a PS5 exclusive. It's also on PS4, and it also plays great there as well. But the point is still the point.
Did you just say it'll also be on PC soon?
I'm just saying. I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised. I really wouldn't. Seriously, because Jim Ryan has already primed the pump to let y'all know at the end of the day, there's money left on the table and they need to pick it up. That's what it is. That is what it is. But the point is, as you see, those who are very sticklers for their exclusives, not that many people, it doesn't scratch the top 10 of games played in the year, right? And I'm sure similar can be said for Xbox, but they're not about
no.
We're here for
No, buddy. I promise you, next year around this time, they're gonna see Halo Infinite.
I'm talking this year. I'm talking this year. This is
the thing.
This is from this list right here.
I know
this list right here is from this year, like from the beginning of the gen to now. That's what this.
Well, I gotta be objective.
I wasn't able to get that one.
This is why I gotta be objective. Xbox didn't have a lot of exclusives beginning of the gen.
That's right.
So this is what objectivity is. But my point is, Xbox fans were not going around telling people that exclusives are the only thing that matters, and that's why PlayStation is the best, or their platform is the best. We don't say that. You don't hear Xbox gamers saying, "Yo, Forza Horizon and Halo or Starfield is the reason that's the only reason to get an Xbox." That's cap. I keep telling people 93%, 93% of all games are available on every platform. That's a fact. So to sit there and pretend like if most people are just playing exclusive alone, that's cap. They're playing 2K.
And Everborn has said that on a few occasions, that when you limit the argument to only the exclusives, you're trying to build a narrative that's usually slanted one side versus another. And in this instance, that narrative works against PlayStation people, which is unnecessary.
And this is what I keep telling people. That Xbox got exposed last generation. Their biggest weakness was the lack of internal first-party studios to make first-party exclusive. The reason why that was a weakness is because the reason they got exposed is because in the generation before the 360, they had the more popular platform for most of the gen. So what ended up happening was all of the third-party developers and publishers gave them exclusive deals. Remember they had the deal with COD and stuff like that. All of that was going to their platform because it was the more popular platform. But because they came out the gate so I don't want to use the word dumb with what's his name? With that dude Matt, whatever the hell his name is.
Don.
What?
Donnie D.
yeah, whatever his name is, man. I forgot his name. But he came out the gate so stupid, talking about if you don't have internet, we have a perfect system for you. It's called a 360. Saying nonsense like that. They hemorrhaged a lot of players, went over to PS4. Because of that, and because they were behind for all of the generation, now the third-party deals that were so easy to come in the 360 era was hard as hell. They had to pay $100 million just to secure Tomb Raider as an exclusive. That's how expensive it was. You could buy a whole studio for that.
I bet you Sony did not pay $100 million for the Final Fantasy exclusive.
Exactly, or Bloodborne or something like that, because because you're leaving the bigger player base on the sideline, so you have to pay more. And then another thing is they launched with a lot of great exclusives, but in order to get a second exclusive, the price went way up. Think of Titanfall, etc. So they got exposed. Now this generation, I'm telling you, PlayStation.
It's not gonna be the same for sure.
This is why PlayStation is gonna get exposed. Number one. I don't care how much great games they make. Most of y'all can't afford to buy all their games. Even if PlayStation was to start making as much games as Xbox has, because they buy in studios, and let's say they drop a big game once every quarter or once every couple months.
$70
can you afford
every game?
Can you afford all of those games plus the third-party games that you want to play, like Red Dead or whatever might come out? You can't, unless you're a millionaire. I mean, there's some people who can, but the vast majority of people, you can't. So that's number one. Number two, because of that fact, and because they can't afford to make a Game Pass equivalent because they don't have the money to. So what's going to end up happening is more and more people, the casual market is going to gravitate over to Xbox. That's what's going to happen, because I don't care what you say. As a parent, you're a dad, he's a dad, I have a stepkid. As a parent, and your kid wants a video game, which one are you going to get? The Xbox Series S for $300 that you could just pay for the subscription?
All the way, twice on Sundays. It is the godsend. Now, I will say, speaking from a dad, there is some righteous criticism. Some righteous criticism to be said that they still need more dad-friendly, child-friendly games in there. But as you're pointing out, they are working on that.
What I'm doing on that. There's no righteous criticism. They have Minecraft.
But Minecraft isn't the only game in town, bro. Like my daughter's
understand,
not,
but they also have Roblox.
They have Roblox, Minecraft. They have the biggest games available on that platform and that service right there. And that we're not even talking about Fortnite. There's plenty of stuff for kids to play on.
And that's before they get Sega and Sonic.
Yeah, exactly. Stop. Oh my God.
I'll tell you, as a dude who's trying to find games for his kids. There's not enough. Like I end up buying a lot of. No, that's not for them. Have you seen this?
What
have
you
seen
mean?
the spiders in that shit?
Stop it.
I can't even play that game.
Arachnophobia mode.
It is. Yeah, I know. But still, they're
what
kids.
Psychonauts?
I end up buying a lot of the Lego games for them, and that's actually why WB is such an interesting idea, because a lot of the games my kids play tend to be the TT Games stuff that Xbox has been exposing on their platform. Game Pass as a service in general, as great as it is, has a few key ones that the kids really love, but it's not like they have a plethora of options as we tend to. And even they have said that. So
but listen,
I'm expecting them to see more work there.
There is no such thing as a perfect that's like telling me, like, if you go to Disney Plus, like that's not a perfect. If Disney Plus was a perfect subscription, nobody would need Netflix. Nobody would need.
No, I hear you. I hear you. On that.
So like, my point is, there's never gonna be a time where they can't have everything. But when I'm talking about, they have the big things that they need to hit on. For whether it's Minecraft, whether it's Fortnite, whether it's that new game that's coming next year, what do you call that Slime Rancher or whatever. There's games for kids, Psychonauts. There's games that kids can play on their Forza. That's a racing game. Like,
listen to this man. His 5-year-old daughter's running over people in San Andreas. Damn,
like
man.
A boss.
Damn, man. I cannot see. I am not allowed to play that during the day when the children are around, because that would not work well. Anyway, continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah. All I'm saying is they're gonna get exposed this generation. Because what happened is, if the casual, that list that showed you today, that Jim Ryan put out yesterday, shows you that the vast majority of their money comes from third-party games, which is casual gamers. If Xbox can convince that casual market to come over to Xbox, come over to Game Pass, Sony, they can't survive on their first party alone. They can't. Like, there's no company that can do that. And I'll show you the example. Look at Nintendo. Nintendo, who the Wii U had great first party games. You know how I know that? Because they're selling like hotcakes on the Switch. They just port them over. So, but you know why the Wii U was selling like trash? Because they had no third party support. Because it was, people were like, they would not put, third parties were not making game for that console. So you have to have both. And once you look, you can have the greatest exclusives in the world, like how the Switch had the Wii U had great exclusives. But without that third party support, if more and more third party games, like look what happened with Back 4 Blood. They launched in Game Pass, still was number 2 on MPD. If more and more third party publishers see that happening, they're like, shit, we could launch on Game Pass. And we can still make good money because we still sell the game to these idiots on the PlayStation and on PC, whatever the case may be. I'm sorry, okay. For these sheep. Sorry, not the idiot. For the sheep, right? Like who don't want to get Game Pass because they're like, no, I need to own that disc. So my point is, what's gonna happen is more and more third parties gonna be like, sign me up, bro. Sign me up, because that's a look at Forza, 7-8 million in like 4 days. The play. And that's not even close to all the people on Game Pass, because everybody doesn't like racing games. Like you said, some people just, every game ain't gonna be for everybody. But my point of saying that is that when more and more third parties start to gravitate to Game Pass and the Game Pass model or whatever, it's gonna kill Sony, because by the time they start to do their service or whatever the case may be, their service can't compare to Xbox, because they will never put their games day and date on a service. Because I said,
I hear you. You're absolutely right. You know, and the outlook in the future, it looks like even PlayStation is seeing what you're describing here, and they're slowly but surely diversifying their portfolio in the back end a bit, trying to prime the pump, be like, we want our games everywhere. So there is a universe in which, you know, hey, now all of a sudden those games are on PC day one. I know people are fighting it, but it's gonna happen. You know, logistically how that will happen, whether it be a launcher or whatever, that remains to be seen. I think a launcher would be a terrible idea, because it's been tried a time or two, and the only reason why Epic even is like standing next to Steam is because they gave a bunch of people free games like all the time, and that is antithetical to everything Sony's trying to do. So we'll see how that goes. Now, I did hear some people talk about how, hey, there may be a world in which if they own it end to end and they don't have to pay that 30%, then they'll say, you know, you bought it on PlayStation, so you sign in with your account and you'll get the PC version for free. That would be a smart move. I'm not sure they'll do that move.
Happen. Hell no.
But you know why that's a smart move? That is a smart move because, like, if you check the Venn diagram of PC gamers who also play on console, it's a very small minority. Now, we may be those games. I know that Slow Mo and a few of us in the community are very much in that where we play it wherever we want. But most people are, I play on PlayStation. That's it. I play on Xbox. That's it. So for that small amount, that 0.5% of the population that then gets access to both ends because PlayStation's giving good PR, that'll go a long way in giving them proper PR in order to get games on that side as well. Everborn, you were saying
about cross licensing,
cross-buy. Yeah.
That Microsoft is only able to do that because they own a storefront already, right? Yes. If PlayStation does not create its own storefront,
well, that's what I said. They create their own storefront, and then because of that, they would be able to leverage it across the board.
Remember, they got to give Steam that 30%. But
that's the only reason why Epic even got to where they are now, right? So there are bodies like storefronts. Bodies of storefronts littered across the pavement trying to get next to Steam. They've never succeeded. The reason why Epic succeeds is because if you check their loss, they literally throw money at free games. They gave you GTA 5. And even still, they're not close to Steam.
This is the thing, real quick, Uni, and what I just find it baffling, not baffling, but interesting, that people don't tend to see this. How many times does Microsoft have to be out in front with the Xbox, and then they watch the rest of the industry follow exactly what they did, and then whether they take it forward or not? So like this idea of being hardware agnostic and your game, the content comes to you as opposed to you coming to the content.
They're all gonna follow it, all of them.
And Microsoft, just like they were with Xbox Live, just like they were with achievements, all those things, and just like you will see these versions of Game Pass too, with day and date content. That is what. So it's not. Yes, people have had subscription services before, but no one's doing day and date like Microsoft is. They will. The question is, are they gonna watch Microsoft take over the market like everybody watched Netflix, and then they got jealous of all the Netflix money, so they started pulling their content to do their own thing, but it was too late, and Netflix was too big to fail? Or are they going to come on sooner? And I think that Jim Ryan is positioning the company to be agile enough to react,
come on sooner. Yes, he sees it happening,
and he doesn't care what you think.
Nope.
Right?
He really does not give a fuck. Nope.
He does.
No. When I say he don't care what you think, what I mean is like
it's not enough to delay their plans.
I'm saying no amount of complaining is gonna stop the move to
slow
PC.
them down. That's right. Yes,
no, nobody's saying that. My point is Microsoft does not put in their game on PC. See, when you say that they need to create their own storefront, it's not that easy, because Microsoft, the reason they can do cross-buy is because their storefront is guaranteed on every PC with Windows. See what I'm saying? If you have a Windows PC, their storefront is front and center on your shit. Period.
See, but what you're describing there, that's the reason why we're saying when they create that storefront, the thing they'll have to do after that would be to say, hey, for the rare gamer who happens to also game on PC, if you install our launcher, you'll get that game that you played on the console at no extra cost on the PC.
They're not going to do that.
We don't know that.
They can't afford to.
Microsoft, yes, they can.
Oh my goodness.
But listen carefully. The reason why they can afford to do that is because the number of people that will take advantage of that is a very small number. We are very minute. I'm trying to tell you.
Go ahead. Last year, Sony made a record for their company. PlayStation made $26 billion. $26 billion, right? That's just revenue. That's not profit. That's revenue.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah.
Right? And that was 55% of their company, if I'm not mistaken, of their profits, their revenue. 55, more than half. Microsoft in the last 3 months made $20.5 billion.
Yes,
in profit.
We get that, but
my point is
one does not equate the other.
My point is Sony cannot afford. They're not big enough to afford to give away their games the way you're saying.
They're not doing that. But they're not doing that.
Listen, they have 100. They sold 116 million PlayStation 4s. That's just 106. Microsoft Windows are on 1.4 billion PCs.
I get
it's
that.
not the same. They're not. You cannot say, well, if you buy it on PlayStation, then you can get it.
You're missing a point, though. You're missing my point. Everything you're saying is true, but my point is, if you look at the pie of people who are PlayStation gamers who are also PC gamers, that's a very teeny tiny sliver of that pie. But the PR that'll come from it will be massive. So if they say, hey, you PlayStation gamer who also happens to want to play God of War, I'm just picking a game, you also want to play God of War on PC, we'll give that to you because of dual entitlement. That pie, like, I hear you. If there were a lot of people that were playing on both places, absolutely, you're 100% correct. There's no way they can afford that. I get you. But that pie, in reality, is a teeny tiny morsel compared to the entire environment.
Do you think that most people don't have PCs?
Yeah, but here's the difference. I think. Hold on a minute. Just because I think there's a little bit of a disconnect in both the points that you both are making are true. But I think that here's where I think.
Where's the thread that we're missing? Go ahead.
So there are certain things that Sony can and cannot do because things that make sense for Microsoft may not make sense for Sony because Microsoft is probably playing a 10-year game right now.
Different resource allocations, all of that. Right. Yes.
Sony cannot really do that. So that is true. But
yes, I agree.
What I think what you're saying, Kay Asante, is so before I say what you're saying, do we both agree that they are moving towards a PC model?
Oh, 100%. I agree with that. 100%.
University, do you agree with that?
Yes, I agree.
All right. Do you agree that they're moving towards a day and date PC model?
Yes, 100%. I do. Agree.
100%. Okay. So I think it'll be sooner than what you think.
The real question is, will they allow cross-buy? University, you think they won't because they can't afford it. Kay Asante, you think they will. So the thing
I think they'll have to in order to get the PC players to install that launcher.
The thing that Kay Asante is saying that they actually will not lose much money. This will be equivalent to them putting a game into PS Plus.
Into PS Plus, exactly.
You're going to make most of your console money from those console gamers because they lied about not having a PC, and they don't have gaming PCs.
Yep, they have laptops that cannot play God of War.
Billion is going to be capable of playing that. So the number of people that actually have gaming PCs that are PC gamers, they probably didn't want the PlayStation anyway. So they can afford to let go of that little bit of revenue for that little cross section of people that have both and will play it in both places.
And get back all the public press, all the good smoke, all of that'll come to them. That'll sell more.
The problem that he has is that they can't. If they were just going to do that cross buy, then maybe they could afford to do that. But they cannot put cross buy and compete with Game Pass. They're going to have to do something to compete with Game Pass eventually. They're not doing it now. Hold on one second.
They're going to do cross-buy first and then try to compete with Game Pass.
What I'm saying is, you can say, okay, well, the cross-buy can only affect, let's say, 20% or less of their market.
It's not even 1%. Bro, it's not even 1%.
You think less than 1% of people that have a PlayStation don't have a PC capable of games?
That play both? I will bet you.
Wasn't there a stat that came out the other day where we could look at this? Because
it was like 0.5. It was like a teeny. It was ridiculous.
No, that's cap.
I think it
that
was
is cap.
Okay,
it has to be more than 1%.
Sure,
because almost everybody has a PC.
All right.
Almost everybody has a PC. Everybody doesn't have a $5,000 PC, but you don't need a $5,000 PC to play God of War. That's cap. You can play it on a 2060. Like you can have a 10-year-old GPU and play God of War. You don't have to play it at 4K, 120 frames per second. You can play it at 30 frames per second.
Well, even those who have the killer PCs, there are many who don't do that. Look at your man Everborn. He's got a very capable PC. Ask him the last time he actually played on that thing. Many people make the choice. Hey, I'm a PC player. That's it. Hey,
he's not getting free games from PlayStation.
Maybe if he play it. I wouldn't.
I know that's you, but Everborn.
Do you know how many times I've told him that he needs to install between the Epic Game Store and the Twitch store? I have 300 free games. 300. And I'm talking AAA. Still, some people don't give a shit. They like their console. That's it.
Everborn.
So you get one free Epic game.
Everborn, let me ask you a serious question.
Yes,
answer this truthfully. So you think that Sony can not only afford to do a Game Pass subscription service, which they'll have to put their precious first party games in there, either day and date or right after day and date. They do like an early access. You pay full price to get it, and then like 2, 3, 6 months later, it comes to the subscription service. They can afford to lose money like that and do cross buy all at the same time.
No, but that's not what I'm saying, right? I think that Sony is being strategic, and I think the day and date on PC will come first, because that is a way for them to get more revenue without having to do this. And they're going to go to the subscription model kicking and screaming. But this is what I imagine right now is the calculation going on in Sony's head. Microsoft right now is doing the training of the consumer. They're training the consumers to wrap their head around the idea of a subscription service that can give you day and date content. The same way Netflix trained the consumer, right? It was a foreign idea to a lot of people, and that's why you see a lot of people fighting back against this or saying they don't need another subscription. But once Microsoft trains the consumer to have this be a part of their everyday life, like they trained the consumer for Xbox Live, a generation later, you will see Sony come along, and now people just expect it. They've now come to accept it, and they will go along with it later on. So at that time, they will have a faster uptick. See, why Sony cannot do a Game Pass model right now is because the time that it takes, right, to ramp up your subscriber base to a sustainable number is longer than they can afford to wait, just based on the revenue they have coming in.
So let me show you guys a quick example. Go ahead, Everborn. Finish
just
up.
One more second. So if Microsoft trains the consumer and people just expect it, as soon as Sony enters the market, they can shoot up just as fast in their calculation anyway as Disney Plus did, because people understand the subscription model in the game space now. So they're going to do that. I think day and date on PC comes long before a Game Pass like subscription model.
Game Pass is not just the subscription. You got to understand the reason why Game Pass is so effective isn't just because it's PC. Game Pass is a triple threat. Like, you have the console, you have the PC. They also launch on Windows and Steam, and plus the Game Pass for PC. And they also do the cloud. So you can access it in places that, for example, you might be in Brazil or someplace where a next-gen console is $1,000 or more dollars. You can, and you pay mostly stay on your phone.
They're disconnecting the hardware as a requirement.
So what I'm trying to tell, hold on. What I'm trying to tell you, everyone, is going forward, it's going to be way harder to catch. Just like how right now it's hard to get somebody, the PlayStation fanatic, out of the PlayStation ecosystem because they think about my trophies and stuff like that. In the future, going forward, it's going to be 10 times more difficult to get somebody out of a subscription like Game Pass to go to, let's say, a PS Now, because the games follow you. No longer do you have to have that subscription. You can be on your phone on the bus.
So let me provide just one quick example while you guys are going back and forth here. As you can see here, this is Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep, right? We've heard about this. This was an offshoot of Borderlands, right? It's been everywhere. This is their and this is not the full game. This is their small little pre-game before the game. It's a small little bite size of where it's going to go. And as you can see, it is free on the Epic Game Store. This is what they do to get people to install the installer, the launcher. If you don't do this, ain't nobody installing that thing. You can buy this on Steam today. It's $10. But on the Epic Game Store, it's for free. And this is just one of many that they do every. There you go. Every month. Look, there's a bunch of them. There's and not in addition to like game packs that they add bunch of games. Let me show you my library real quick, because I'd say 95% of these games are all acquired for free. That is why I have actually installed this thing. Yeah, that's Alan Wake, both of them. Yeah, that's a Plague Tale, all for free. And still, they don't even stand close to Steam, even though they're giving you this stuff for free, right? 100% free. If you check the value of this library, all the Batman games, if you check the value of this library, it is astonishing how much free shit they have given people.
That's
it's
called
GTA
brand
5
loyalty.
is one of them.
That's what.
No, but it's not brand loyalty. It's not because nobody gives a shit about Epic. People actually don't want to install.
I'm talking about for Steam.
No,
but their money, yes.
People won't install it because of brand loyalty.
Because
of brand.
Sure. Yeah. So my point is, right now, Xbox is building that brand loyalty with Game Pass.
Yes.
If you think I'm lying, bring up PS Now in any discussion about service.
Oh no, I hear you. You're 100% right on that. But I guess the point I'm trying to make to you is because these are the methods to even get anyone close to considering your launcher or your way of getting into the market. If they don't offer at least cross-buy, it's DOA.
Okay, so here's the
go ahead, everyone.
The thing. It is hard not to look at Sony's moves right now and say that they are not building towards exactly what Xbox is doing, just later, right?
Yes,
because University, you are correct. It is not just console. It is not just PC.
It's a triple threat.
It is cloud as well. But what have we seen Sony do? We've seen them buy more studios, right? So that they could fill out, have more content. We've seen them rebrand from PlayStation Mobile to PlayStation PC, and they're releasing more of their games on PC. Slowly but surely, the window is getting shorter for the release to PC, right? And then we all know that they signed the Azure contract for some future deal, which is probably related to accessing games in the cloud. So all those
right there is their biggest issue when it comes to a subscription, right there, because they don't have their own cloud infrastructure. So that's gonna in a subscription service where the margins are so thin, right? And it's so hard to make profit. You cannot hope to make profit if you don't own your own infrastructure, because the problem is most of the service has to be filled out by a lot of third-party games. So for example, yes, Sony has more exclusives than Xbox right now, but they could put all the exclusives on a sub and that's not gonna be shit. Like that's why Xbox went and got EA Play. That's why they go and get all of these third-party deals, because no matter how much studios they buy, they need third-party content to fill it out. And that's content you have to pay for, that you have to license. So the problem is if you have to pay for third-party licensing.
To be fair though, if PlayStation was serious about it, they could like fill it in. They could have a retro section with PS1, PS2. They could really they could take it further than Xbox
to run natively. What do you mean?
Of course, because of the cell ridiculousness. I hear you.
That's my point.
But even then, the home, and I'm big on homebrew. The homebrew community has actually cracked that nut. PS3 runs righteous now on PC. It took a while, but it's there now, right? It's better than even it's there. Let's just say it is 100% there now. If you want to play a PS3 game on PC, it is now doable. Listen, it took many years to get there.
We should also clarify I am not saying that they will be successful. Yes. I am saying that they are going to do exactly what they're going to try to do exactly what Xbox is doing. And maybe
what I'm trying to say is, yes, I understand that they have to try. They can't just sit back and not do anything. But my point of what I'm trying to say is this. Even with their PS1, PS2, see, Xbox, they put a lot of thought into this. For the last 4 or 5 years, when people were slandering Xbox, what they were doing was preparing for this. That's why you have things like FPS boost and stuff to make sure the older games are running at higher frame rates and stuff on the Xbox. That's why you have auto HDR. That's why you have quick resume and different things like that.
That all came because of Phil Spencer's brilliant decision to make them emulate tech talk real quick. They use virtual machines. Everything they do is VM based. That's why whenever you load up any of the other games, when you saw me playing Crackdown, the first thing you see is an Xbox 360 logo. Inside that game, it thinks it's an Xbox 360 because they're using virtual machines. So any kind of update they want to do, they can tweak the actual virtual hardware without touching the code. PlayStation doesn't have that groundwork. So to make any change, they have to literally go in and touch the code, which requires asking for permission, which requires requalifying it, which, there's a lot more work. That's the reason why you pay your quote unquote asshole tax whenever they make any change, because they actually have to go in and mess with the code and do all this.
You're making my point for me.
Your boy, Pixel Bit G knows what I'm talking about. The hypervisors are on point. I'm waiting for the day they blow it out and show us all the technical details of how that's done. I work with hypervisors all day. But no, you're absolutely right.
The only thing that Sony has over Microsoft right now is the reputation for great games. Yes, that's it.
Yes.
Once that disappears,
but Lord knows that could blow up soon.
That doesn't go as far as you think, because here's my point. The video game industry is a what have you done for me lately industry.
True.
See what I'm saying? Yes. That's why Pony's right now melting down on with just a couple of months without exclusives, and they feel like they've been going for years.
They're melting.
They're melting down. Like, oh, y'all act like only 2 months in the year.
Okay.
We've been but anyway, my point.
I know. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I know you hate when I get on your brethren, but all I'm saying is, at the end of the day, they're your brethren. You defend them. But all I'm saying is,
I defend gamers, bro. That's what I'm here for. I'm for games, man. That's what I'm here for.
Okay. All I'm saying is,
I got one of these right here. And I also got one of these. It is the problem.
I don't want Xbox to dominate. I don't want Sony to dominate. So I'm not saying
it needs to be a competition.
I want Sony to go out of business. What I'm saying is, Sony needs to be very strategic and particular about how they go forward. They can't afford to do the blockbuster and be like, oh, we don't care because we're the market leader and we're doing it. Remember, Netflix went to Blockbuster and said, yo, you want to buy us? They were like, nah, we don't need you.
And now you see where we are. That's right.
And then you know what? Then you see what Blockbuster did? Yeah. They said, damn, we have to compete with Netflix. Let's just do this. No more late fees. Yay. And everybody was like, who cares?
Too late, bro. It's over.
Yeah. So that's to me, that's how.
That's what's going to happen when they do day and date.
Yeah, exactly. Like they're gonna come out and say,
too late.
You know what? We're gonna put our PS5 games on PlayStation now.
At that point, the White Walkers will be at your gate already. It'll be too late.
A year after they launch, isn't that great? And people are gonna be like, yeah, but Game Pass gives it us day one though. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, they have to be very particular, because anything short of what Microsoft does, matching what Microsoft does with Game Pass, isn't gonna be enough. That's just a fact.
All right. Well, so let's before we do this, go ahead.
Let's talk about.
I was going to switch it up. We're going to talk campaign. I was going to switch it up. To Halo talk real quick, because I really do appreciate this conversation. That's why it's great that we have an Xbox University here. Strong opinions, right? We can agree to disagree, but we all at least agree. That they're heading in a very interesting direction that people didn't initially think they were. And some people are still delusional, thinking that's not going to happen. We're going to be sitting there eating popcorn when it does. It is what it is.
And they're going to melt down, and I'm going to love it.
It's going to be that.
I blame PlayStation. I blame PlayStation because they could be more honest and transparent, but they never do. And the PlayStation fans never give them, like I said.
I'm with you on that, big sir.
They trash Xbox for transparency and honesty. But then when PlayStation lies to their face, they sit there and remember, PlayStation never told them about the $70 games until after the showcase for the PS5, and they just put it in the patch notes in the
I hear you, man.
So my point is, and you know what the PlayStation fans did? They didn't do like what we did when they raised the price for Xbox Live and say, hell no. You know what they said? Well, it makes sense because inflation, and
I'll say to you,
game costs a lot.
I'll say to you the best way the mag says it, and he said it on multiple occasions, and I wholeheartedly agree. Loves his PlayStation, does not necessarily care for Sony. Now he doesn't say it that way, but that is true. Like I completely
that's
agree
how
with
I love PlayStation games. I don't like the corporation. Yes.
Go ahead, Everborn.
Let me ask you. This is a question that you and I had yesterday morning, K. Sante. What are the odds? No matter how slim. What are the odds that since the God of War engine has been ported to PC and 2018 is coming out in January, what are the odds that Ragnarok is also ported and they do Ragnarok as day and date for their first day and date game?
They wouldn't do that, no, because it's too early in the generation to piss people off. On that point, like they built the last generation was built upon telling them my exclusives. You need a PS5 to get this exclusive. Now they slowly transfer into the PC. They can't do if they had 100 million PS5 sold, then maybe they would do that. But by that time Ragnarok comes out, they're gonna have less than 20 million PS5 out in the wild.
Xbox Uni. I hear you, but let me push back a little bit. And this is not me saying you're wrong, but let me push back a little bit on that. Do you think the vocal people that we hear on Twitter and Spaces and all that, they are all like that's all of them? I would think that maybe that's just the vocal minority, and the other people wouldn't even hear that it came on PC. They would just keep playing the games as they keep playing them. Yeah, you're right.
Y'all say
that the Spaces are going to lose their minds. You're right about that.
You say that, right?
But how many of them are there?
I keep telling y'all, those vocal minorities, they shape the narrative. They shape the narrative around Xbox, and Xbox lost billions of dollars.
They shape the narrative on Twitter and in social, but not every customer is on Twitter or in social.
You see, y'all have this sick, twisted mentality that thinking that Twitter doesn't matter. If Twitter doesn't matter, then the companies wouldn't react to Twitter.
No. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Twitter doesn't matter. I'm saying Twitter is a subset of the customer base.
I understand that, but those people on Twitter have families, they have friends, they have coworkers, word of mouth. That's what happened with Xbox last generation.
You really think? Think that if they piss off those customers, it will eventually hurt their pocket? So
yes. Because what happened is with Xbox, you think the casual Xbox gamer or the casual gamer from the 360 era was watching Don Matrick interviews? No. But what happened is the vocal minority that you claim that don't have power.
Well, but no, hold on.
They shouted it from the rooftops. They made
Donnie D's ridiculousness. Donnie D's ridiculousness was on CNBC. Donnie D's ridiculousness was everywhere. It wasn't just on Twitter. It was it permeated through the normal.
Let me,
bro. Yes, it was.
Let me jump in.
Yes, it was. Go ahead, everyone.
I both of you make interesting points, but I do think a lot of the travesty that was the Xbox One generation. There was a lot of factors, and it wasn't just CNN articles, and it wasn't just Twitter. There was a lot going against the company, and a lot of that was internal strife for the company.
Very true.
Particularly Terry Myerson not really believing in the brand, and they were they
didn't have the wallet at the time. They didn't want to give it to them.
They did not have the foundation built. So, like you said, University, when they lost the Call of Duty marketing deal, and then everybody thought the Bungie that everybody loved went over to. It was the impression that they went over to PlayStation because they got the exclusive whatever content deal with Sony. It gave people the impression that these things were exclusives, and they weren't able to surmount that. So did the vocal minority play a part? Yes. At that time the media very closely relying on Twitter to set narratives about things? Yes. Was that a time where The Verge and IGN and Engadget were blowing up at that time? So they had a lot more say than they have now, because they're a known quantity now. So all of those things were going in that favor, and Microsoft was not a very liked company at the time.
Yes, of course.
But to University, to your point, these people that argue on Twitter, they do get a response and they change things. So people angry on Twitter, like you said, is what got Microsoft to go back and change that Xbox Live decision. And it is what got Sony to go back and change the Forbidden West, or was it Ghost of Tsushima? I think it was Forbidden West. The thing with they were charging there was some upgrade pass that you couldn't get.
It was it was Ghost. It was Ghost. Yeah,
right.
It was Ghost.
So whatever. So that was people, loud minority on Twitter arguing about things, and the same thing with Twitter with the PlayStation Store, Vita Store, right?
True.
So they do
and just this year alone,
right? They do have a voice, but on the other hand, this is the flip side. University. How many times have we seen these same crazy people on Twitter that had these crazy narratives, and this is why Sony's better and they'll never do this, and then Sony does it, and then they get real logical and they pretend that was the plan the whole time. So is there not a world where Sony does go day and date? There's like spaces for one day of people flipping out, and then they're like, no, this is really smart.
Yeah, now they have more money.
Okay, here's what I say.
You tweeted about who did that.
No. I agree with what you're saying. There will be that, but my point is, it's still a risk on their part because.
True, I don't disagree with that. That is definitely going to be a risk on their part. Yeah.
Why I'm going to say it's going to be a risk is because yes, that can happen, but they should have did that when they had no competition from the other side. You see, competition is very funny because last generation. That's why I keep telling people. Sony missed the ball last generation. Last generation was when they should have took all the risks because they had no real competition from the other side. So everybody would have just had to take what they was giving them. See what I'm saying? So my point is, for example, if they came out with some multiplayer games that they were experimenting with last generation, but now they're going to come out with multiplayer games now. But now Xbox is going to be at the height of their powers. So if you come out with flops,
so the equation has changed. So
exactly. You can say, oh well, they could do day and date, and Sony fans would just take it. Well, that was before Xbox had Starfield and Fallout 5 and Elder Scrolls 6 and Perfect Dark and all of that. Like you see, like remember Xbox thought they could have did that too. They were like, hey, we coming off of.
So I'm going to be a little salty with you on that. Then PlayStation folks should just make sure that they get that browser unhidden so they can partake in those games as well. I'm sorry. Yeah. Let's move quickly along. Like let's switch shifts a little bit.
They all have gaming PCs, so let's just.
There you go.
Come on.
They should at least have browser capable devices. Anyway, let's move on because I want to touch on a few of these Xbox topics before the end of the show here. We're already at 2 hours, so let's move through this. Okay, so. In addition to this whole rumor of potential Halo Infinite dropping sooner than multiplayer dropping sooner than we think, we did see a lot of back and forth with exclusive content, campaign reviews and overviews for the Halo Infinite campaign from IGN and also from Game Informer, if I'm not mistaken, right? Have you guys had a chance to see that? No, everyone, you have Xbox. Have you had a chance to check that out?
Yes, I did.
Did you watch both Game Informer videos plus IGN, or just one?
I watched the IGN one. I watched one Game Informer. The Game Informer one was like 2 minutes long though.
No, they have another one that's like 4.5 minutes.
I think I watched that one too. Yeah,
okay. So we'll start with you, bro. What is, since you've seen all that, people have been waiting for the overview and all this. We saw what we saw back a couple weeks ago, and now this. What is your take on the campaign? I know everybody was worried about campaign and gameplay looks great and the graphics now look great and all that, but they're still worried about the story stuff. Xbox University,
I'm not
what's
worried
your opinion?
Because like I keep telling people, Microsoft understands. Microsoft understands that the best example I could put is look at Amazon. Amazon, they wanted to start a service, a TV service, a subscription service, but they never did any TV shows or movies before. So what they did was they got all the money that they have in the bank and went out and got the people who can actually do it. Microsoft realized now that the suits can't be in charge of creativity. Because the suits, they're only good at one thing, making money.
Making the money, giving the resources to the creators.
Exactly. Let the people who can create, and get the F out of the way. So my point is, I think that this is going to be a lot better because last generation, their priorities were different. I said, they were in either too arrogant mode or in catch-up mode, desperation mode. Now, because of the reset, I think what they're doing, their number one priority is quality. And if you've seen this year so far and tell me that that's not what they're pushing, I don't know what to tell you. From Flight Sim to Psychonauts to Forza to Age of Empires, like
very high meta scores for those who care about meta.
High-rated quality game after game after game after game. And so my point is, what you think that they're gonna put not that effort into the Halo? Come on, bro. Yeah. Like I said, especially Halo. That is
the quote unquote Halo franchise. That is the
I keep telling people this
franchise. Yeah.
The worst Halo of all time, according to a lot of people, was rated 84 Metacritic. If that's the worst in a franchise, I don't want to know. I don't want to know about other franchises. See what I'm saying? So I keep telling people, Halo 5 was rated higher than Ghost of Tsushima. That's a fact. That's a fact.
Which
Halo
is crazy. That is crazy.
It's not crazy because Halo is not one thing. See, the problem is when you have a story game. When you have a story game, you're completely dependent on the story. Halo is more than that.
Technically, to be fair, Ghost is also a multiplayer. They just kind of snuck that in through the back door.
Well, they stuck that in months later, but nobody will cry about that and say, Game Pass. You see, that was the Xbox thing. They say it's because of Game Pass. But Sony did it without any Game Pass, and they're like, well, we got it for free. Well, that should have launched with the game. They didn't just start developing it 3 months after when the game launched.
They made. I've brought that up. They made the decision to delay it so that they could get it right. But of course, this was a new franchise. Nobody knew it was coming, so it became a surprise rather than a detriment that they'll get dinged on. Which Halo definitely.
But what about The Last of Us 2 though? With Faction.
True.
Not only did they delay it, but now they're going to sell it back to you at full price of something that should have been included in the game because The Last of Us 1 launched with Factions. So like I said, but Sony, Xbox does it. It's the end of the world. Sony does it. It's praised. But I don't know. We're used to that.
No. What you're talking about, I think, with Halo 5 and Halo 4 to an extent, it comes back to this idea of the universally accepted opinion. So, people who want to feel like they have credibility, people who, don't really remember or they didn't play those games, they'll go back and say, yes, it was complete trash that they put out with Halo 4 and 5, right? And I think that is unfortunate because the universally accepted opinion is not always the truth. It is just a thing that people say in order not to be ostracized, right? And so even if you look at the time, yes, there are story issues with Halo 5, but as a whole, if the game was as bad as the way people talk about it, we could say we don't like Metacritic all we want. It would not have scored an 84. Halo 4 would not have scored an 87 if it was as trash.
Especially considering the time it was released when it was favorable to be like dogging Xbox at that time.
Yeah,
so there was a lot of like righteousness on the back of those who were ready to spit in the face of Microsoft, right?
And I literally just had this conversation on my Twitter timeline last night where somebody telling me I'm a fanboy because I said Halo 5 was not as trash as you think. The campaign was
really
trash.
wasn't.
I said, whoa. I'm not sitting here pretending like the campaign was an amazing masterpiece, the best ever. No, but like I said, was it trash? No.
Trevor,
they just marketed it wrong,
sir.
Number one, they marketed it wrong.
We're all in agreement.
Yeah. And number two, Halo is more than just a campaign. Halo is not a one and done game. Halo will never. We can't rate Halo like how you rate Ratchet and Clank. Halo is a game that is paid for years. They're still playing goddamn Master Chief Collection right now. That's like they have a 20-year-old game in there.
Yes, exactly. I've been playing it for sure.
So my point is, you can't rate Halo like other franchises because Halo is more than just its campaign. It's more than just a multiplayer. Like I said, Halo, your Forge, theater mode, multiplayer modes. You have a campaign. Like it's like 4 different games in one. See, you got Mario Maker, you got COD, you got a single player first person shooter like Wolfenstein. There's a lot of different games that Halo can make. And that's why I said why I love when people pretend like Halo somebody is half baked. I'm like, a half baked Halo is still way more content than the game that you're willing to spend $70 on because Sony's on the box. That's
I feel you.
That's fact.
I feel you 100%. Yes, Everborn. I already know your opinions on it, but please reiterate for the people. How much do you love this campaign? How Breath of the Wild are you seeing? Come on now, go for it.
So, I like. To me, I think we learned a lot more from the IGN video, but in terms of the beauty of it all, like I think like I really liked the presentation that Game Informer did. It just the video popped a little more. The colors, I don't know what it was, and they were both in 4K.
Yes,
but one thing I talked about this, I think in a Spaces the other day, but and maybe I talked about it on last night's show. But I do want to say something. I think because when you watch the Game Informer video, the game itself looks really beautiful in terms of lighting, in terms of reflections, in terms of volumetric fog, all those things, right? But when you get to the exterior shots, right, I think that the disconnect people are having with the graphics is the foliage. I think we are suckers for leaves blowing in the wind. So when you look out at
least you are.
Everybody is, right?
No, I agree with you. Go ahead.
I'm just crazy over Horizon, right? Like,
no, I agree. Yes. Horizon Zero Dawn was all about the ecosystem, the foliage. You're 100%, yes.
Right.
In addition to all the
Ghost of Tsushima as well.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. 100%, people are suckers 100%. For that shit. That's what it is. Listen, when they showed off Last of Us 2, and you saw the blades of grass and Ellie kind of moving through those things.
Yeah.
Listen,
I think Ghost of Tsushima
that really promotes realness.
Foliage I've seen in the game so far, though. Well, other than Forza 5, actually. But yeah.
What you said?
I think Ghost of Tsushima has one of the best foliage I've seen in a game, other than Forza 5. The Forza 5 in the jungle is crazy. Like, my eyes were bleeding. I'm like, what is going on? Wait, do you see where they had like the golf course and stuff, like with the palm trees by the sea? Man, I said this shit is like a movie. Like,
So I think now when you conversely, the interior shots for Halo look great, and the slip space engine really shines. But when you get outside, look at the blades of grass and look at the trees. They are static. They do not.
He barely cares about his humans. He's throwing them off bridges, let alone the floating farther.
Right. But I'm just saying that the trees themselves are like flat textures almost.
Yeah.
And they look dead. So the world, even though there's a lot going on, it doesn't look as alive as some other games. So people kind of mistake that for it looking last gen. I think if those trees were moving with the wind, because they're all static, if they moved a little bit as you walked, I think the world would feel more alive, and people would understand the visuals that it's actually.
I think they made that choice on purpose, because
it was a bad choice. If they made it on purpose,
let me tell you why. The reason why is because I will go on my mountaintop and scream. Halo is about performance over foliage. They need to prioritize. This game can run at 120 frames per second. Ghost of Tsushima doesn't run at 120 frames per second.
But let me ask you a question.
We can get it to 60.
Let me ask you a question. Then why put all the goddamn trees there? You could have put a different setting.
Trees.
Do you?
Come on now. Come on now. You're talking about the different decisions being made. We have the lore, right? Even though Halo is their franchise, true, but there's established lore. If all of a sudden, because they can't have an engine, they don't have an engine that has no wafting palm trees, so now the entire thing takes place inside. That'd be ridiculous. What I will say to you, Everborn, listen. What I will say to you, Everborn, is even though you may have a point in that, what I will say is, to be fair, even though yes, it's true to us end users, it shouldn't really matter. To be fair, you're comparing mature engines versus this thing, which by all accounts,
that's not my problem as a consumer.
I understand that, but remember.
So what you're saying is you prefer the foliage moving over 120 frames per second. That's what you're saying.
First of all, the campaign is not 120 frames per second.
Okay, 60 frames per second.
I suspect over time this will be a move.
Far Cry is doing it.
Yes, they are.
What is Far Cry doing?
You didn't play it.
Oh yeah, you haven't played Far Cry 6, bro. It's like it's amazing. Like your open world, the ecosystem is grand. The animals, everything is alive. Like in comparison, you're absolutely right. But how many iterations have they had to get that right? How many Far Cries have used the exact same engine and tweak and tweak and tweak. There's a difference there. So I'm saying, although I agree with you, Everborn, I suspect they're talking about a 10-year plan and all of that, right? This point will be moot at some point. Look at Destiny. From Destiny 1 to Destiny 2, vast improvements.
This is literally,
even Destiny 2 within itself is a vast.
Just 1 second. This is literally my only complaint with the game right now. I loved everything I saw, but the engine clearly has issues dealing with foliage, and I think it makes the game look worse. So I feel like they should have designed around that until they were ready.
Don't put that out there until don't put that out there until you're holding the game.
Yeah, because we don't know. It might have snow locations.
It might be an older
water location. We don't know.
Okay.
Give it some time. I hear you though.
Give it some time. I hear you what you're saying. The biome that they showed off. That, like I said, the trees look like
this service is what they're
sure.
Yeah, but I'm not going to judge a game before I play it. Cap.
Exactly. When it comes to that, I what you said there, Everborn. When you said it, I kind of looked at the video again, and I do see what you're saying.
You can't unsee it now. That is
no. You're right. Yeah. You're right.
You gotta watch it again, and you gotta see what I'm talking about. You gotta be like,
but what I'm saying is, I want to wait for the game to be available to me to play before I'll go, yeah, you were right, or there might be a day one patch. You don't know. Like there's evolution in this, right? As we know, there's a lot of potential for it coming in hot. We don't even have co-op as we should. We don't have Forge. So there's still iteration to come, right? We'll see where it goes. Let me real quick touch on this subject here. Myself and Xbox U were talking about it before the show started. This rumor that they may drop it like it's hot on the 15th, right during the stream. You know, some people are all geared up and excited for it. Xbox U, I was interested to hear your opinion on it. How about you reiterate it for the people? Go ahead. What do you think of this potential?
I think it's terrible. Like I keep telling people, the only way I would give them a pass for doing it is if they have to do it to get it into the Game of the Year conversation because they're the cutoff date. Then I'd say, okay, patience. Other than that, don't do it, because what you're gonna do is you're trying to divide up this game, and it's gonna make people think of the game as two separate games when it's one game. It's one game. Like it's a multiplayer and the single player of the same game. Both games have Halo Infinite on the cover. So well, not both games, the same game has Halo Infinite on the cover. See, right there. And if you launch it on 2 different times, it's gonna by definition have people thinking of it as 2 separate entities when they shouldn't, and that's gonna go into the scores, because I don't want the critics to be like, oh well, we're gonna grade the campaign.
To be fair, Microsoft themselves have already bitten off more than they can chew when it comes to that, because what you're seeing here, this logo you're seeing here, is what you see every time you see multiplayer talked about. And when you see the single player talked about, there's a different cover. They've already separated.
Because they have to do that because it's free to play.
They will come out with 2 different launchers. But you know that, right? There'll be 2 separate launchers. It won't be one launcher that has multiplayer and single player. It'll be exactly the whole thing that Crackdown 3 did, where there'll be one launcher for the multiplayer and another launcher for the single player. They've kind of already set the stage for that.
What I'm saying is,
but I agree with you that it should not be. It shouldn't be. I agree with you that it should not be judged.
It should be reviewed as one single.
It should be reviewed as one, but it's kind of too late for that. I think. Go ahead, Everborn.
The only thing that I think will be acceptable is if it's another flight that they launch tomorrow.
Yes,
right. That's not. You're not releasing the game.
Thank you.
This is a flight.
It'll be.
Thank you.
It'll be like a pre-launch flight. That I can see happening. But to release it officially, yes,
only for Game Pass.
Could be.
Get their ass. Seriously. Get their ass just like that. Be like, oh no, you got to be by the Game Pass, bro. Go ahead and try out these games, bro. Get full.
Well. So the thing is, though, all the shit I talked about, which I think it was perfectly fine what they did for Forza, because people apparently forgot the definition of early, and they tried to say not
people, right? Only the ponies. Who the same people that tell you that a 10-hour game for $70 is worth the money, but now they're gonna tell you that, damn, if you could get the game for $1, how could they not want you to cost you more for early access? I'm like, bruh, it's 4 days. It's 4 days. You don't even have to do it. I didn't do it. I got money, but I was like, nah, I can wait.
but again, as much as I was saying I'm not paying to get to play it early, I can wait because I'm not in the business of throwing away my money.
Yeah,
if
this
they
one,
tell
you
me
gonna do it.
that
You gonna do
Halo's
it.
early,
Yeah, I'm definitely jumping in early.
I'm not even gonna
now.
sit here and lie to you people.
You're damn right.
The moment they're taking my money, if I get 15 minutes early, if you just let me download it early,
I also agree with Xbox. Even though I think that ship has sailed, I agree that it's a bad idea to officially release the multiplayer separate from a time, because that'll be another narrative. Well, they lied. They said they wouldn't do it, but then they did it anyway, which is ridiculous and stupid.
Exactly. But and then, like I said, if the quote unquote campaign is quote unquote coming in hot, you can't launch the multiplayer. Like, no.
But they have, though, said that even after the last flight, they have said there'd be more flights before the launch of the game. They haven't been specific with the number, but that's been a narrative that they themselves, 343 has pushed, that, hey, we'll be doing more flights. So it could very well be. I don't think they'll do that. It could very well be that this becomes the, hey, by the way, congratulations as a cause of celebration.
You played yourself.
That's right. As a cause of celebration for the anniversary of the stream and all of that, we're also gonna allow a subset of players, whether it be Game Pass or whatever, to get access and our final flight before the actual official release. It could be a thing, or early access. You pay to get in early, just like they did with.
What they need to do is announce some acquisitions at this shit. That's what they need to do.
They're not gonna do it.
Just to make people even hotter than they already are, right?
I promise you, they're not gonna. Yes. We're not getting any more acquisitions this year.
We didn't get any this year.
That's what
we haven't gotten any this year.
We closed one in March, right?
So hold on. Let's get to this story. Let's just get to this story before we close out. So they're having a big celebration, right? It's going to be a thing. There's a big stream. For those who are not aware, I think it's 1:30. It will be. Mr. Boomstick Excel will be hosting a live stream where we'll be discussing it. He invited me on, as well as a few other gaming community members. So it'll be very interesting, and I'm looking forward to it. Before we get into what we think will be shown here, let's talk a little bit casually about your experience with Xbox. Like I have been a huge Xbox fan. I have been a huge Xbox fan since the old Duke.
I can't tell. You sound like a pony to me, but go ahead.
Listen to this man. You see, that's absolutely ridiculous. I sound like a gamer, my friend.
Go ahead.
I sound like a gamer. I'm just playing. Who has righteous smoke for everybody, homie. Do you have the one that? I'm just playing. Do you have the one that does this thing that brings out the logo? Yeah, that's right. It's only for that reason I bought that. Every time you press it,
I've never seen that before.
That's right, homie. There you go. I'll do it again. Ready? And when you do it, of course, my thing is, yes, it plays the startup sound. You're damn right. It's real cool. Anyway, I love this thing, and I was a huge fan of the Duke. Like man hands. And
you were a fan of the Duke.
Oh hell yeah. I was a huge fan of the Duke, bro. I still have it in my office. My OG Xbox. Shout out to those who do some creative educational hacking. My OG Xbox is right now. It still plays games. I have it loaded. I've upgraded the hard drive to a terabyte drive. I still love the OG, like 2001 Xbox. I used to chip them. I used to do a bunch of different things. I love the Xbox from way back when, because before Xbox was Dreamcast and spiritual successor and all that. So I'm here from day one, and I love the Duke. I appreciate that they had to go smaller. I appreciate all that, but I was one of the few people who still dug the Duke, and I still do to this day. That's why I bought this thing when they released it. I don't use it as much as I used to, but still, I really appreciated the big, huge ass controller. I did. But okay, Xbox, hit me with where is your start with the Xbox as your preferred platform?
Got you. It started with the OG. I got it one Christmas by mistake. I told my mom to give me a PS2. Mm-hmm. She went and got me an Xbox. I was pissed when I opened the box. I was like, "What the hell is this?" Because I grew up in the island. I didn't even know what an Xbox was at that time. What is this shit? You know what I'm saying? Because I had a Nintendo 64 at the time. It was 2001, I believe. Right? Mm-hmm. So it was And what happened was when I opened the box, I was like, "What the hell is this?" I took it out. I was like, "Okay." So she got
Big
me a
old
game.
VCR.
Yeah, got me a game, Halo, and Dead or Alive. So the 1st game I put in, Dead or Alive. I didn't know what the hell Halo was, right?
Those Dead or Alive graphics at that time, bro.
Bruh,
Oh my
it blew
God.
me away. And then the fan
next
service
level shit.
for teenager boys.
Oh, don't even talk Ninja Gaiden, bro. I still play that.
No, I didn't have it. I didn't have it at that time. But what I'm saying, hey, we're talking about me, not y'all. Anyway, we're talking about Ninja Gaiden. Like, bro, I'm saying.
Go ahead, man. Speak.
So what happened is, I put in Dead or Alive, and it blew me away. Like I said, jumping from the Nintendo 64 graphics to the Xbox graphics. Look, I was like, whoa. And then this is why I tell people, like, Xbox at its best is when it's pushing boundaries, when it gives you things that you never think you needed, that you never knew you needed, like quick resume. If you told me before this generation that quick resume, I wouldn't even have that on a wish list. But now that I have it, I can't live without it. So it's the same thing with Xbox, where they were the first to put a hard drive in the console, that you didn't need a memory card. So when my friend came over, he's like, "Yo, how you gonna save the game?" I'm like, "Bruh, it has a hard drive." He's like, "Wait, you don't need a memory card?" I'm like, "No." He's like,
that strong 5400 RPM hard drive.
So he's like, you can't buy one. I'm like, "Yeah, you can buy one." That's another thing that I like when Microsoft do. They give you options. See what I'm saying? They didn't say, "Oh, well, you have a hard drive now, so we're not gonna give you any memory cards." They're like, "No, we're gonna give you both."
Yeah, I also had memory cards as well. Yep.
And then the best part was when I learned you can rip CDs onto the hard drive and play them during your games. That was before we had Spotify and stuff, apps and stuff. So like before that, we used to play all these like my best like stuff back then was like Tony Hawk Pro Skater. Like I used to love like games like Dave Mirra, BMX and different stuff like that.
Yeah.
And Tony Hawk Pro Skater, the problem I used to have is that it had 1 or 2 great songs and the rest is just trash. Like, what is this? Right? I'm like, nah,
hey, man.
I don't want to hear that.
Hey, man,
right?
It's a matter of preference. Go ahead.
No. Okay, to me, I'm growing up in the Caribbean, bro. They don't have no reggae on this. They don't have no soca. You know what I'm saying? They just have all type of stuff that I never heard. But they had a couple good ones. Don't get me wrong. I love good music. They still have. But my point is, I want to be able to put my own, because at that time,
that's options.
When you could put your CD. So like not only that with the CD, whatever the case may be. What else that blew me away with the original Xbox? I hated the Duke, but then they gave the S controller. That was a lot better. Hey man,
the Duke is for man hands, bro. You don't know nothing about that there.
my homeboy and me played Halo for like the first time. Because he was laughing at me when I got the Xbox. He's like, "You didn't even get the PS2." He was laughing at me. Then he came over, we played Halo, right? And the first thing he said was, "Yo, tell your mom I'm staying the weekend, bro." Damn, I go because this is the first game ever that we could play couch co-op together through the story.
Is that when y'all jumped in the Warthog together? That was the revolutionary experience, right there. As soon as somebody's here, somebody's there. Oh man, amazing.
Yeah, so from then, like Xbox had me, and then of course with the Xbox 360 with the LAN parties, and at my college actually, because the whole college was set up on the same network, all you had to do plug it into the wall, and you could play anybody in any dorm, right? Like so you have like 16, like 8 times 8, 16, man. Or sometimes we used to go 1v1s where I was a king because I used to blank people. We call it blank like 25-0. Like I was that good. Where we're like, yo, if you get 1 kill on me, you win the game, bro.
So do you know? Fun fact: right now, today,
University was giving them 6 love in Domino.
6 love. That's right. Do you know that today? You can pop in your CD of Combat Evolved today on your OG huge 2001 box, put another copy into the 360, put another copy into the Xbox One and the Series X, and everyone today can still LAN party. All the way back to that OG hardware. They haven't left it alone. You can still do that today. Amazing.
So then, like I said, with 360, the real reason, like, I fell really in love with Xbox after all of that, because at first it was just the graphics and the innovation. But when it came with Xbox Live, and then the Xbox Live Arcade and the marketplace, that like people forget that they were the first to start this.
I missed the arcade.
They start that and achievements, and they were the first to start all of that, man. And it's funny to me how people Now they want the people. Oh, Xbox need to lead the console market. And like when I hear people say stupid stuff like, I'm like, dude, none of y'all went to school for business, obviously, because there's nobody with sense that think that Sony being the sole big platform in the console space would be a good thing. Like by next year we'd be paying $150 for the exclusives. So it's like I'm like thank God for Xbox, because Xbox right now when they're competing, they're keeping them honest, and that's what we need. You see, Xbox went and invested. Now Sony went and got 5 studios. That's what competition looks like.
This is why you see Nintendo doing what they're doing, because Sega's not around.
Oh, exactly. Here we go.
Put pressure on them.
That's true. It's true. That's true. But that's why I love the Steam Deck coming into the equation, because now they got some competition in that handheld space to get.
Don't get me mad about the Steam Deck being delayed. I'm so upset about that.
But they need competition, because they doing a bare minimum. They're not even giving people a lot of new games. They're just giving people ports of old games, but they can get away with it because that's what no competition does. No competition.
Don't get me started on Nintendo.
No competition is what we get with Madden. Whereas they have nobody to compete against, so they do just the bare minimum and recycle stuff and sell it to you again. And that's what I do. I will never, even though I prefer Xbox, I will never sit here and say I hope PlayStation fails. I hope PlayStation goes
They
under.
need to stick around.
Like they need to stick around, please, because we don't want another Don Matrix situation. Because
it's a cyclical thing, right? If you look around, it's very cyclical. The same ridiculousness that PlayStation was pulling in the PS3 era. Remember the scandal of you have to pay more for your money. You have to get a second job for the PS3.
Oh my God!
Right, when they were throwing that boomerang controller at your head, right?
You gotta go get a second job. Like, bro,
remember that? You know,
they wanted you to pay mortgage for that PS3. Bro.
That's right. And then, of course, they fell flat on their face. And what did that make them do? That made them PS4, right? And the same thing, we got Donnie D out there going TV. You know, and now Xbox fell on their face, and here you go. They're innovating. So it's good to have that back and forth with the innovation. I completely 100%. So the
Xbox One and the Xbox 360 really cemented me. The Xbox, the original Xbox, not Xbox One. The Xbox One, I tell people, I'll be honest. I did not get an Xbox One till late in the generation. The Xbox, I'm not what you call a brand loyal guy. I go wherever the good games are. I go wherever whoever fighting for my money the most.
That's right.
Now I do prefer Xbox.
Xbox One did have a better launch. I would argue.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
Was better.
But I didn't upgrade instantly. I was still playing my 360 for like the first year of every that came out. I didn't go and get a PS4 day one or Xbox One day one. You see what I'm saying? Because at that time I was broke. So at the end of the day, well, I wasn't broke, but you know what I'm saying. Like I didn't want to go and get.
You ain't had it like that.
I'm just saying I didn't want to go. Yeah, I didn't want to go and get it, especially since the 360 was still popping. We were still playing Gears of War, still playing Halo 3. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, So at the end of the day, the problem I have is that I got me the PS2. My PS4 came when I had the white PS4, the white Glacier PS4 that came with the Destiny bundled in. That's when I got my PS4. But like I said, but I had a PS1, a PS2, a PS3 at the end, the slim version, and a PS4. So it's funny to me when people tell me nonsense, and I'm like, bro, half of y'all telling me about gaming were born in the 2000s. Y'all don't even know how the PS1 look. Y'all never touched one. Y'all looking at pictures on Google. Like I was there with Toomba. You remember what that is? Like you know what that is? Like y'all can't tell me shit about gaming, man. Like I've been around when they had the MotoGP, when it was like little sticks on the little I've been there from Gran Turismo 1.
See, and that's why I was telling Everborn. That's what I was telling Everborn when people were talking about, oh, well, you know, they've changed the heat sink. It's not going to be a big deal. I'm like, when y'all leave your hardware alone and you move on to the PS6, people like me still stick. I have my OG Xbox, my OG PS2, PS3. They're right there. And guess what they all do now? They play Dreamcast games. But that's neither here nor there.
I had a Dreamcast too, matter of fact. My dream.
That's
they don't
one
understand
thing
when the Dreamcast.
And I still kick myself. I did not keep my Dreamcast. I still want to get another one.
If you didn't have a Dreamcast, if you didn't get that demo disc that came with it, with the first level of Sonic Adventure 1 on it, with the killer whales. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But my favorite, the reason why the Dreamcast was so amazing to me, Power Stone, Soul Calibur. They had Jet Set Radio. They had, what else did they have? Crazy Taxi, Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. Man, the Dreamcast was coming with the hits, and then all of a sudden they're like, we're done. I was like, wait, what?
Imagine if all those games came back and say,
here we go.
Here
we go. See, every time we open our mouth and say Sega,
I can't praise Sega a tiny bit. Because then here comes
you
know what happens?
Right into that one. I don't know.
Don't get mad. You know what happens? I've been arguing with this man on this show for quite some time. The reason why I bring Righteous Smoke to Sega, and the reason why I won't even give Sega even a little bit of quarter, because the minute you do, right, you see the beard melt away from Everbone's face, and he becomes his 10-year-old and goes, Sega! I'm like, get the hell out of it. Nothing he says is useful.
Did you even have a Sega Game Gear, bro? You're not a real Sega head.
I had a Game Gear with like 80 billion batteries in that shit.
Oh my God. You could run through 4 batteries in like 10 minutes.
You know you done fucked up, right? Like,
here we go.
Don't talk to me about Sega until you put together the Voltron that was 32X Genesis and Sega CD. And I had the OG long Genesis where when you got the Sega CD, you had to have little plastic piece on the side because the Sega CD was shorter than the original because they did the slim model of the Genesis at that time.
You know, now that you bring up Sega, you know what pisses me off about Nintendo? Why I'm mad that Sega left? Because Nintendo have so much franchises that they refuse to give me that I grew up on. People say I'm not a gamer, by the way. But I grew up on, like, where the F is Donkey Kong 64, like a new 3D Donkey Kong? Where the F? Where?
There's one on the Switch.
No, that's Tropical Freeze. That's not no 3D.
Yeah, Tropical Freeze is from Wii U, bro. 2D. That's like a long time.
That's a 2D side-scrolling nonsense, right?
And it's an old one. Like, they just keep re-releasing it.
I'm
nobody played it on Wii U.
You know my favorite game that was on GameCube? Star Fox Adventures. Where the hell is Star Fox Adventures? Like, where the hell is all of these games that they used to have that they just refuse to make? Like, why can't we get a updated Wind Waker for Zelda? God damn it. That's my second favorite Zelda of all time. My first one is Majora's Mask, by the way. But I don't know how I know this because I don't game. But anyway, so
this man, he's still upset that people are checking his credentials. Calm down, bro. It's cool.
I'm not upset.
You among friends here. Nobody's checking your credentials.
Listen. I'm not upset. The problem is, like I said, I like to bust fake narratives, and that's a fake narrative. I bust fake narratives every day on Twitter. That's my thing. So my point is, somehow, some way, without Sega to push Nintendo, they literally give you just the bare minimum. People congratulated. People like, yay, we get to pay $60 for Mario 64. And I'm like, what? Those are $5 ROMs. Stop playing with me. Like, you see, that's why you have to turn into Jack Sparrow. But I'm not going to take it off.
Oh, no, you don't even have to turn into Jack Sparrow, bro. I was telling this to Everborn. Yeah. If you have these games on your SD card, on your Switch or whatever, take it out the Switch, put it into your laptop or your PC or your Steam Deck when it comes out, and then load emulators. Emulation is not illegal.
Yo, bro,
I'm playing. Okay,
hold up. I'm playing Forza, right? And I've been on this one race for 12 minutes. This is the longest race I've ever played. What is going on? It's one lap and it's just like a stretch.
There's a few. There are a few. I don't know. I think it's the same thing as in Forza 4. There are when you're in the late game, there are races that are literally almost the entire map. Like they go from one to the other.
Damn.
Super long ones. Yes.
I'm like, bro, I've been like it's going on 13 minutes just straight.
Yeah, the Goliath. There you go. Thank you, sir. That's the name of it. The Goliath maps. They are like long as hell, and of course we have Fuzzy Belvedere, like
Fuzz, my dude Fuzz.
What's an expert up in here, dropping the knowledge as he should. Yes,
man,
indeed.
This shit is pissing me off. I'm like, where the hell is the finish line?
Goliath, indeed, endurance racing. Yes.
God damn,
it's a real fun. It's a fun race. But all right.
No,
let's move quickly along.
Yeah,
yes, it is. It's real fun. Let's move along and let's talk a little bit about and Everborn. I didn't even get yours. Like, how did you? I know you entered the whole the whole Xbox frame from Dreamcast. I know that's how you entered it, right? But let's get your high level, how you really got in, and while you're at it, what do you think, or what do you want to see them talk about on this stream? Because we already know, just to level set, we already know no new games will be announced. Meaning, hey, all's fair with games that have already been announced, or possibly acquisitions, which I doubt that, or possibly
they better because
or possibly
listen, I'm gonna start being a
it?
thorn in their side. Matter of fact, if y'all ain't follow me on Twitter, man.
Follow the man on Twitter.
I'm the only one. I'm not an Xbox. I'm the only one out here keeping Xbox honest. You feel me? Like I'm not gonna cap. I'm not gonna let them slide. But go ahead.
You're king of the busting of narratives. How about you calm down with that one?
Yeah, go ahead. No, I ain't gonna let them slide. But
go ahead, man.
All right, yeah, man. So So first of all, when I heard Microsoft was entering the console market, like I was excited just because I'm always like, if it's related to gaming, I'm interested in it, right? Like I never had a regular Nintendo. The first console that I had was a Genesis. We got it for Christmas, and it came with Sonic 2 and Streets of Rage 2. And that was
people keep talking about the Streets of Rage. Is it good?
Wow.
I never played it.
Oh my God, bro. So you haven't even played the latest Streets of Rage?
Nope.
Do me a favor.
On Game Pass?
Do me a favor. Hold on. Slap yourself. Now,
you haven't played GTA 5. You talking about?
I know you can slap yourself too. Bro.
Yeah, like
no, but really though, no joke. Yeah. Xbox U, it is in Game Pass right now.
Can we get it on the screen?
Play that immediately. Yeah, let me see if I can find a copy of it. Go ahead.
So anyway, anything, right? Like I had a Virtual Boy at one point, right?
What? You just like to waste money, obviously. But go ahead.
So like. This is the thing. So when I heard there was a new console on the market and somebody that was going to give Sony competition, because not like, and plus at that time I had, because I'm a Sega apologist, I blamed Sony for pushing Sega out of the market, right? Not Sega's terrible business decisions. I blamed Sony. I was like, they're covered in here with all this money. And then put these things out, and they betrayed Nintendo because the OG PlayStation was a project they worked on with Nintendo, and then they took their ball and went home and released the PlayStation. So, it was exciting to me that they were coming in the market, but I didn't get the Xbox on day one. I got it during Christmas break because I was away at college when it came out. Came out in November. I ended up getting it in December. I brought it back, and I always hated first-person games, right? I didn't like Doom. I didn't like Quake. I didn't even like GoldenEye. And I was like, let me try this thing. I played all of those things, but they weren't my thing. So Halo comes out, and like, I don't really like first-person shooters, but I'm going to try this thing. And remember, I got this thing and brought it back up to college. So you can imagine all the other people that got it and the LAN parties that started right away and seeing that kind of cinematic effect that it had in that time. So it was
by the way, Xbox U, I hope you're watching the screen. That's Streets of Rage 4 right there.
Hold up, shout out to Fuzzy Belvedere. It was called the Goliath. Took me 17 minutes.
We just said that. The Goliath,
Jesus Christ. Yeah, man.
Go ahead.
I don't think Yudi's watching the what you call it. He's playing.
I don't think he's playing the game. That's right.
Damn it, bro.
Streets of Rage.
Streets of Rage is on screen right now.
But anyway, so between Halo, between Morrowind, between Ninja Gaiden, right? Like all of these things that were on the OG Xbox, like I was a fan, and then they were getting a lot of these Sega exclusives. So I just kind of felt like that was the home for me, but it kind of fizzled out in the market as well in comparison to the PlayStation 2. But then the 360 comes out a year early and kind of changes the game. And this is the 360 is where we got our first taste of Mass Effect, Gears of War, they had a great partnership with Capcom at the time. So we got like Lost Planet, we got
shout out to Lost
Rising.
Planet.
Oh, and on the original, the OG Xbox, Jet Set Radio Future. Don't forget that. Right. So we got
that game. Oh man, I have a problem with that game not still being in the world. And if if the acquisition, if that famed acquisition of Sega ever comes to pass that you keep talking about, and that is the game that we get, I will be. That's all I want. That's all I want.
I was
that's all I
so
want.
angry when EA bought BioWare because I had been praying for a crossover of Marcus Phoenix, Chief, and what's his name? Why can't I think of his name? His name Shepard. To get together and save the world, save the universe.
Like create a story that ties them all together.
Of space trilogies, like third-person shooter, first-person shooter, and RPG. Yep. Put them together in one thing. I still think they should do that. Find a way to make that work. But 360 was great, and I was all on board the Kinect train. I don't care what anybody says. And then I was actually very high on Xbox when they launched the Xbox One. I knew that it looked bad PR-wise, but the message that they were talking about at the time really resonated with me. Right?
But y'all know it got people in these houses?
Yes, there are people in the houses. Yes,
I mean, like there are people out on the porch, like chilling, like having parties.
Yes,
I'm just sitting looking at it. I'm like, wait a minute.
The problem there is they're running at 30 frames per second, even though the game is running at 60. But we're not going to go there.
I just noticed that. That's crazy.
Continue.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. Down to the beach for me.
Yeah. Right. So, so that's the thing. It was sort of like, with the Xbox One launch, I love the idea of, because they were out front saying every game we release will be available in the digital store. Yeah. And that is right. They were out in front, or they tried to say, you could share your games with 10 people. You could trade games digitally.
They were doing that. It was going to happen. They were going to set up places where you could bring your disc and get your digital title off of it. And then from then on, we'd be living in that digital trading of spaces world.
And all of these people complaining about it has to
ruined it all.
Internet check-in. Like these are the same people that
like we don't live in that world today.
All they do is play these games multiplayer, but somehow everybody's upset that the system has to check in. So for me, a lot of the things that they were trying to do, and this idea that they formed a movie studio to try to do things like tell stories like they had in Quantum Break. And those first that launch, I don't care what people talk about. The Sony launch year was great. That launch year, or just launch day titles in the Xbox One, might be one of the greatest launches in all of video game history. When you think about it, right? That launch window. So, and then up until the first year, it was banger after banger after banger, right? The first 2 years was like that, right? What did we get in 2013 through 2015? We got Halo, we got exclusive Tomb Raider, we got Quantum Break, we got Dead Rising, we got
what's the name of that game? I was playing that yesterday. With the platforming game. Yeah.
Right? We got what
I was playing that yesterday with the definitive edition with the platforming and
we got
the different
Forza
robots.
Also, right? Rise Son of Rome, that's another one. And then they had
hey, wait, Rise Son of Rome is criminally underrated, bro. I love that.
But all of those things were in the first 2 years. So for me, Xbox was firing on. They was talking about TV, but they were doing the other part of it. They were delivering the content that we all claim to want. It is just that people were against them.
Hold up, Fuzzy.
Right? Wait, 1 second.
Yo, Fuzzy, tell me how do you find the leaderboard on this shit, man? Where's the leaderboard? I never looked at it. Where is it?
So Fuzzy will tell you that, but the point is, those first 2 years, even though they were delivering content,
Recore
is 2016, so that was outside of the first 2 years.
Okay, that was outside of the window.
So they were delivering AAA quality games at a steady clip, 3 or 4 per year.
Yep.
Right. So let's not pretend that the decisions people make are only about content. It sometimes is, like you said, University, it is the brand. And I would argue that some of those exclusive Xbox One games, like Rise, like Quantum Break, they should maybe bring them back out now and see how they do. Like
they might actually be interesting to see. Yes, indeed, indeed.
So, but then I took from 2015, I took off of gaming and I came back to 2020 in 2020, and so I'm trying to catch up on everything that I missed. I played and beat this year for the first time God of War. And
let us
Spider-Man
stop for a
3.
moment real quick and see the real quick. I have to do this because there may be few among us who have not seen this. Y'all still don't understand the switch between the old school version of this game right here, right? I paused it. Look at that. And then the new school version of this game when it switches back. Amazing, bro. I still do that every once in a while. Switch back and forth. Look at that.
These shit is
amazing. Anyway, I'm sorry. Continue.
So you know, as a Sega kid, it was kind of a logical transition, like I said.
Yeah, of course.
I have lifelong friends from those LAN parties in college with the OG Xbox that we live in completely different states, but we will always be friends because of Xbox for that. And it's the idea of this sense of building a community around gaming instead of these single experiences, I think cannot be understated. So now this brings us to with today and how they're trying constantly to push the industry forward, kicking and screaming. This happens every time. Everybody laughed at them for a LAN port. Now look at it. They laughed at them about paying for Xbox Live. Now everybody's happy with PS Plus, right? They laughed at them.
They're kings of getting the arrows in the knees, even though at the end of the day, they're the ones that
everybody's talking about trophies now. You have trophies because of achievements.
Because of
So how many times, right, is Microsoft and Xbox going to do something, be made fun of, only for people to turn around and then do the same thing and pretend like they thought of that shit themselves?
Yep.
Right. Yep. And I think that the hardware agnostic nature of Xbox right now and Game Pass is them doing this all over again. And you see the gnashing of the teeth and the pulling out of the hair and the clutching of purses
of the pearls,
because this is something new. And as human beings, we don't like change. But here, Microsoft and Xbox goes pushing us forward again. So that is.
I hope their marketing department helps them thread that needle so they finally can get the respect that you can clearly see they deserve, but somehow they're always missing it.
So that is, and again, I say this, I am before I'm an Xbox fan, I'm a gamer, so I love all of this shit. This is why I have 3 PlayStations and Xbox, 3 Xboxes, and a PC that I don't use, and a Switch that I'm waiting for the Breath of the Wild 2 on, and an Oculus Quest that I don't use. Because if it is relating to the gaming space, I want to be there. But at the top of that list, here's the thing. I have favorite children.
But hold on. See, your description right there, what you just described right there. That's the reason why you need to play GTA 5. But we'll move on quickly. Yes, it is. What you just described right there is the reason why it is a mandate for you to play GTA 5. Maybe we'll start some kind of
just play the single player. Don't even do GTA.
Yeah, play the single player.
I never intended on playing multiplayer. Listen, you play Sonic Colors and University.
Stop it, nope.
You play Streets of Rage 4, and I'll play GTA.
I'll play Streets of Rage 4.
Truth be told,
that'll be like 10 minutes.
Out of all of us, I think I'd be the one getting screwed in that deal because GTA 5 is a decent game. Streets of Rage 4 is also a decent game. Sonic Colors is trash. I'm sorry.
Listen,
Sonic anything is trash.
Before we move on further, we got about 40 people in here. I think this is the best time for us to show the Kickstarter before everybody.
All right, so we're about to adjourn for the day. We're about to adjourn. So please, we appreciate you guys for being here. You know, we appreciate
follow
you guys
me on Twitter.
Continuing to follow this man on Twitter. Subscribe to the channel. Give us feedback. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't like. In the bio, in the show notes. You know, I will of course be sending it all out at the end of the show as well. Mr. Everborn Saga just put the link in the chat as well. I will. Do you have something you wish to share? Possibly,
no, just go click on that link. We'll go to the campaign.
All right, so we'll do that. Let's do that real quick so folks can see what Mr. Everborn Saga has been working on.
The sound because I want to play a video on there.
All right, so give me 1 minute. Then I have to get it out of. Stop sharing that, and then I have to share again. And this time you share the screen and share system audio. All right, so we'll see if we can do that. Right, I'm sharing. Hold on 1 second here. I'm sharing system audio. Right. Share. Okay, so there we are. Now, my question is, can y'all hear the audio when I play it? Now, let's see.
We cannot hear the audio.
You heard that?
No
Audio. Okay, so that means I have to share my entire screen because it won't share if I just share the browser window.
No, there's a button that you click at the bottom that says share
audio. I did share audio, but that only works if you're sharing your entire screen. If you switch to just sharing a browser, it does not show you that.
I see. Okay, let's try it
again.
again.
Give me a moment. Let me share the entire screen.
Yeah, get the porn away, right?
This man over here is trying to clown people. What's wrong with you, bro? Anyway, see, the problem, unfortunately, is my screen is really wide, so it won't let me. Yeah, it won't let me share.
All right,
no. Hold up. I got it. I think I figured it out. Forgive me. I think I figured it out. Where is it? Where is the Everborn Saga? There it is, right up there. Share with audio. Share. Okay, and I will post it up, and now we can share it with audio. Hold up. Wide. Can we maximize it? Actually, where is it? Hold up. There it is. Can we hit play? Hold on. Where is it sharing from? Forgive me. We have multiple monitors up here. Is this it? Hold on a second. There we go. Gotcha. Cool. Ready? Audio.
Full screen.
A lot of trash cars in Forza. They just give you anything. Trash. Can y'all hear me?
Is the audio better there?
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay,
let me pause real quick. Yes. Now we're pausing on Everborn who needs sleep. But let me stop the video and I'll let you explain it to the people. Actually, let me rewind, play that again, and then I will stop and let you explain it to the people. Ready? Here we go.
Yeah, take off the sound. I'll talk about it a little bit.
All right, cool. So there you go.
All right, yeah. So this is the new series that we're launching in the Everborn Saga. It's set in the east of Arcadia. So if you're familiar with Prince of Arcadia, we're on the other side of the world. That's Karma. She's basically a princess by day, bandit by night, having visions of the future. It's sort of like a shonen manga mixed with Ocean's 11 style storytelling in a fantasy setting. It is sort of the next POV series because we are scroll down in the campaign and play the next video. So when this you can come down and play that. So Everborn is basically 4 separate series, each following a different character, telling the story from their vantage point. And this one is called the Redlands. It is Karma. Like I said, if you are familiar with the thing, it is just the next, the third of 4 total series, and we're going to launch the 4th one later on in the March. But in March, and we hit our goal in 24 hours. We got marked as one of Kickstarter's projects we love, and now we're trying to shoot towards the Kickstarter, the stretch goal, so we can bring out the actual novel, because we did a fantasy novel as well, and we want to get that edited. So that's what we're moving towards next. Been doing this for the better part of a decade. We've released some games, working on a new game. This connected thing between novels, comics, and video games, and that is the Everborn Saga, sort of in a nutshell. But you can see that's, like I said, that's Karma, our main character, and this all ties in, and everyone meets. And we're very sort of character driven, so I try to get you attached to the characters before bringing in the main lore. And you can see all our main characters there. But yeah, man, been working on this for a while. And yeah, scroll down. You can see some of
this homie right here looks kind of like Michael K.
That is Commander Galahad.
I'm scrolling through. Here we go.
That is Godwin. He's fighting for the throne with a young Baltimore. That's Old Man Baltimore and Ariel. That's the last
books that we've already had.
Last comic.
Wow,
that
is
started
such
the video
upgrade,
game,
bro.
so that is how she our main character started, and this is where she is now.
Yep. And here's a little bit of that video game footage.
Not that one. Don't click that one. That was the first one we released.
Oh yeah. So here's the new one. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Here we go. So yes, this is the iOS project you're still working on, right?
Yes. Doing a bit of a revamp with the character models and things like that, so it matches more the art style of the comics. Got some good. One of the animators from Shantae, the Half Genie Hero, is helping us work this out. So putting together a team for this. See, look, there's Karma.
Yeah, I see. So yes, so how much longer in the campaign do you have to go?
So we have 24 days left. But the one thing I want to say is you don't have to wait, because there's some rewards that have a certain number. So if like you could, like we had one reward that gets you your own cover, and that's a 1 of 1, and that's gone. And then we have another one that we will create a character based on your likeness, and they will get to appear in the series later on.
Here, right here.
Yeah, and there's only 9 slots on that one left. So that's the one you might want to try to, if that's something you're interested, check out sooner rather than later. And what you have on the screen now is our world map. So if you're into Prince of Arcadia, you see Arcadia is in the west, right? And then you see the Wildwood in the middle. That's where we start off in Ariel's adventure. And then the Redlands the Redlands is to the west, and Arcadia
is to the east, right here. Yeah.
So
a lot of work, bro. A lot of work, a lot of layers, a lot of complexity. How like it must have been like forever putting all this together.
A decade. Like, I'm not even joking when I say it. So you can see this is the king that Karma's trying to get revenge against. So basically, she, like I said, princess by day, bandit by night. She leads a crew, and they rob from the royals and give to the commoners. And so what they don't know about Karma is that she's one of the royals, and she's systematically targeting allies of the king so that she can weaken him, so that she can take back her revenge, because she Uni's trying to get in, I think.
He fell out. I apologize. There we go.
Yeah.
All right, bro. You back?
She is trying.
Yeah, I'm back.
She's the king basically killed her parents to get on the throne, but raised her like his own daughter, and she's trying to get him back. And she can't really tell the king she's robbing his friends, and she can't tell her friends that she's using them to settle a royal score.
Hey, with the spoilers, why are you giving up the spoilers? What's going on?
Right.
I'm just trying to let people know what they're getting into.
Nah, tell them buy it.
This is like a movie trailer that shows you all the pieces of the puzzle. Nah, bro.
I want to hear. Nah, bro. You going into details. I'm like, I just came in. I'm like, wait a minute. Is he spoiling it?
You know what? You're right. They have seen enough.
What a bumbleclad.
Yes.
I see Umbra in there. We see you.
What's going on, Umbra? Good to see you, bro.
Yeah, man. This is it, man. We've been doing this for a while. We had a really successful campaign the first time around. And we were trying to grow the brand and recreate it from here. And this is all done by me. The only thing I don't do is the artwork, but writing, producing, funding, advertising, going to shows. That's all me. This is my baby. Like I said, been working on
his name is the Everborn Saga, after all.
Yeah, everywhere.
Unless you're on Twitter, in which case it's the Everborn Sega.
Yes. But again, check it out. The link is in the chat. Like,
we're putting it in
one thing I do want to let everybody know before we wrap it up here. If you pledge to this campaign, you don't have to wait till you have the funds, because no one is charged in any Kickstarter campaign until the campaign is over. And this campaign ends on December 7th. So you won't be charged until then. So you don't have to wait till you get paid. if you see something that interests you,
the day before Halo.
Exactly.
The day before Halo, exactly. Yes, because ain't nobody gonna work after Halo, so it's gonna be the day before. But here's some of the rewards you get, like depending on the tier you choose.
Those are the first two are digital rewards.
Yep.
Now, if you're new to it, just go down to the Theros tier, right there. No, go back up. Go back up. Right there. Theros. Yes. This is the one you want. It will give you everything we have ever produced so far.
What's up, Umbra? Right? What's up, my guy?
You get Prince of Arcadia Ultimate Edition Book 1 and 2, and that what Book 1 includes Chapter 1 and 2. Book 2 includes Chapters 3 and 4. Then you'll get Ariel's Adventure Chapter 1 and this new book, The Redlands Chapter 1, and that's you can get caught up on the entire saga. And that's that's really the one you want to go for. See, this guy gets it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I am not only a spokesperson, I am also a reader.
I'm Scrub Nurse. Like I said, man.
What up, Scrub? Good to see you, man. So yes,
great for everybody in the chat. Thank y'all for coming through. Make sure to support my boy Everborn with his. We love to see creative people. Starting out. We're trying to build them up. Like I said, go ahead and give us a sub on our Twitter accounts. Mine is Xbox University, the Xbox University with a DA, or you can go to Everborn Saga everywhere. Or what's yours? What's
TKO Asante? It's in the
Zero Asante.
Zero. Yes, that's right. Oh yeah, forget about the zero.
So
but needless to say, it'll all be in the show notes. It'll all be there, and after the show, all this will be pushed out. We want people to see it. We want people to be subscribed. All these creatives, all the people who are out here trying to promote positivity in the community, follow them, subscribe to them, promote more of that positive stuff and let that negative stuff slide as we want to do around here. So yes.
Yeah, I might joke on Twitter, but at the end of the day, man, I'm not trying to be involved in all of that BS. Like I said, like with Everborn or whatever, we're just out here. We're really gamers. I own all systems from the Switch to PC to the PS5. I own them all. I prefer Xbox, obviously, but I would never want Sony to not go in business or not compete or whatever the case may be. So, like I said, it is what it is.
The only people we trying to put out of business is the people that
fanatics,
the fake narrative. Yes,
the fanatics,
indeed,
swinging fake narrative that they know is ridiculous. But anyway,
now when can we get this book there, Everborn? When can we get this book?
Well, you can get this. Is what I want. We hit 10,000. That's what we're working towards. We're trying to get it edited.
Okay. So yes, if you're one who has not subscribed, please do so. If you haven't, if you're new here, we do this every week. My man Everborn is mid campaign for the Everborn saga. You should definitely check it out.
Left. Not even 24, 23 days.
There you go. So you should definitely check it out. You should definitely at least go to the Kickstarter, take a quick look. Investigate Everborn online. Put the word Everborn Saga into Twitter. See how many responses you get. See how many people have been reading it. How many people have been liking it. There's a lot of information out there.
How much Sega you'll find that. But let's get University out of here. I know we've kept the man for
yes, we've definitely kept the man too long. We appreciate it. So let's round the bottom of the barrel of the show here. We will do so by thanking you so much, so profusely. You came on, passionate opinions as we do, respectful as we all do. Thank you so much for coming and representing with us and gracing us with your presence and your opinions. Xbox University. Once again, tell the fine people where they can find you on the internet, how they can be a part of your spaces. Go ahead and tell
them about the new channel you about to drop.
I was just about to say, I do spaces all the time for Xbox events. I'm gonna host a live watch party for the Xbox stream, but also I just started a YouTube channel for my podcast and my videos that's about to be coming. The link is on my Twitter account, so go ahead and check that out. Follow the Twitter account.
I'll update. I will update that. I'll put it in the chat if you can, but I will update the show notes after the fact with that information. I'll find it and put it in there. No worries. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, like I said, I want to thank y'all so much for hearing me out today. I'll be back anytime they want me to, man. And thank you so much, man.
No, it's been great having you here. We don't always have to agree on everything, but we can have passionate debates, and we debate on facts, baby. That's what it's about.
With no disrespect. Exactly. Agree to disagree.
That's what it's about. So I appreciate you coming out here.
Both of y'all are wrong about Sega. But
here we go. We can all agree.
You know what I'm
yes,
saying?
we're going to see you on PTG. It'll be great. That's right. We're looking forward to that. We'll have more conversations. As I said the last time we had Mr. Umbra up in here, we want to get more community members in the spot. Oh, I think we lost him. The connection that might not be great. We want to get more community members in here. We're going to be looking to find more community. I know, like, there's a bunch of people on my list that I want to get on here. Mr. Scrub Nurse, I want to get you on here, bro. One of these days, we're going to make that happen. As well as a few other members of the community. If I'm missing somebody, if you want to be part of the community, the part of the situation, communicate with us. My DMs are open. Holla at me. I'm definitely gonna get you on here because I just love having conversations with the community and really getting into the heart of matter of what we enjoy and what we love and all of that. So I want to thank everybody who came through, people who continue to like, who subscribe. I really appreciate it. Again, leave the feedback. Anything we can do to make the show great, we're all about it. We're here to listen. We're here to grow together, 100%. So thank you all for joining us, for being a part of this community. And until next week, we'll see you again. And hopefully, after this next week, we'll be talking about all the crazy things that happened at the Xbox
acquisitions and new exclusives.
Here we go. All the non-acquisitions and all the potential exclusives that we may or may not see. But we'll see y'all next week, and we'll once again go out with the wonderful Wandering Dutch outro that I will continue to praise the man for. Peace.